Oi, oi.
What
Oi, oi.
is up,
Hey.
everyone? Welcome back to Malt and Magic. Today we are going to be doing some Orbital Blues. This is episode 2 of our Orbital Blues arc. I am Bodhi, your unexceptional GM, and I'm joined by the Malt and Magic's exceptional cast of players. What's up, exceptional cast of players? How you guys doing?
Woo!
Hell yes.
Buzzing.
We're all good.
Buzzing.
Awesome. Well, if everyone's sat comfortably, then shall we begin?
Yeah,
Yep.
why
Run it,
not?
Dave. Run it.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I am I am playing Jesse Brains, who is the muscle. He's not the brightest spark, but he's very loyal to the group.
Hello, I'm Danny, and I am Gigabite, more affectionately known as Gigabite, and I am the fixer, the engineer, the tech guy, an all-round lovable. I was going to say lovable rogue, but not in the D&D sense rogue. He's just a bit of a twat.
And I'm Tom, the father half of Homie and the Dude. I am playing Isaac P. on landing, and I am the face. And I have a very questionable moral compass. Not to me, but others have told me so, and I will challenge them at every point about that.
I spent a long time trying to figure out if Isaac P on landing was like one of those Bart Simpson moments of IP freely, but it's not. It's just.
It is IP on landing. Is it?
Yeah.
IP on landing. I used to be a pilot.
Fair enough. There we go. Yeah, what is up, everyone? I am Matt. I am usually your Dungeon Master, but tonight I will be playing Zane Vega, also known as Vegas, also known as the Phoenix. Your mysterious, grumpy, swear-a-lot gunslinger type character.
Hell yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll do a quick little recap and then we'll hop into the intro, Dave. So little recap from last session. The players entered into a bum deal where they tried to sell a Medi-drone, a Void-Corp Medi-drone that was stolen to a group known as the Dirtbags, led by Dastardly Dan. A classic shootout broke out between our players and the receiving entity, and it just all hell broke loose in this diner. Lots of blood, lots of licking faces, and loud gunshots going off. Before our team managed to escape from there with a couple of Void-Corp bikes stolen from their dead adversaries, as well as also a droid waitress that they, I don't know what they plan to do with that. We'll find out, I guess. And they then went to Marbellico, where they stored the bikes, and then went to Laz, who had messaged them on the journey saying that he had an emergency job for them that he needed doing. Laz is an old guy who has a wares store that sells, he's kind of like your general convenience store in Marbellico and sells all manner of different things. He's a good friend to Zane. And after meeting Laz, he informed you that he needed this job done quickly, that he needed it done in the next day, and he was going to give you 1 million credits for it. After some pressure from the team, Laz revealed that they were actually smuggling a cybernetic child across the block border to his mother, who was meeting them at the space dock in a day's time. After a bit of back and forth, the group asked him to raise the price, and he ended up agreeing to giving 1 million credits up front and 1 million credits at the destination, and also revealed that the kid is actually artificially intelligent. The group were unsure about what to do with this, but they accepted the job, and that is basically last where we left off. So, if everyone's ready, let's jump into some Orbital Blues, shall we?
Yeah, that's very cool. Hell yeah.
Right.
Small, perfectly formed, that intro, wasn't it? Love it. I know you were thinking
Amazing.
about
So,
you were thinking about my penis there, weren't you?
Well, usually when you say things like small and perfectly formed, that's exactly what you're talking about. So
yeah, it's true. It is true.
Yeah.
True.
So, guys, we find ourselves in the small village of Marbellico, outside of the main city here on Mars Cinco. You guys are currently in Laz's shop, a shop that is filled with all manner of different foods, tech bits, batteries, the odd ends of like Allen keys, bolts, drills, and a whole mishmash of things that you may need living out here in the Mars Cinco desert land. The door is currently locked, and Laz and you guys have come back upstairs. You hear blaring out on the radio across the room. Welcome back to Malt and Magic 97.8. I am still your host, Bodhi, the unexceptional GM, dazzling your ears this afternoon. We will be continuing our tales about the renegade future of yesterday that nobody wanted. So buckle up, check your thruster valves, and get ready. For the legends we will spin will welcome you to the galactic era of the outlaw. And as always, here at 97.8, the following music-fueled Moon Age daydreams of the rebel race to Andromeda are all 100% true. These are your orbital blues. And Laz slaps the top of the radio, turning it off at that moment, and turning to you guys and going, so what's the plan then? When are you going to set off?
I forgot. I forgot about the voice.
Can I just slap Laz really quick just to start things off? No, I'm just kidding. Out of character, of course. What's the plan, Vegas?
I don't like trying to get a boy across the block, especially not a boy like that. You guys have got a history with the scars, right?
I mean,
You could say that, yeah.
yeah. I mean, what's your definition of a history? I mean, I know the inside of a
I'm
cell.
just trying to decide which checkpoint we aim for to try and get across. That's if we're going for the checkpoints. If not, we're gonna have to try and find some other way across. But there's only two checkpoints I know of. That's the northern side and the southern side. And if I remember rightly, the southern side is the one that's overrun with fucking scars. So if you guys got a history with them, we want to kind of head north. But that's also the one that's, well, into civilization, so to speak. And I don't do too well with people.
Yeah. Belly of the
Given
beast
that
type
we-
thing.
Given that we're wanted fugitives and all that, don't you think that any checkpoint would have our faces on the wall?
Wait, do you
But
really think
just your faces?
like an 8x10 of me? Do you think it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
straight on, or do you think it's a profile? Because I like
It'd be
my.
like a model
Do you like
headshot,
my
you
left
know?
side?
Check
this out.
Both of your sides are your best side.
What do you think about this? Check this out. When I suck my cheeks in,
Yeah.
can you see my jawline a little better? Can
Oh, the definition of strong jaw, my friend.
Yeah. I'm thinking of eyeliner as well, because that would be that pulls out, the brown of my eyes. But I think
the
I'm
point
I'm
is to
sorry,
be
did
able
you
to-
lot all fucking miss that we were trying to get a boy across the block? Alright, what's with the makeup and shit?
You got to let him go through his process. This is it's part of the planning process. You just got to let him get out of his system.
We don't want to be more obvious,
Sorry,
Isaac.
Jesse, I interrupted.
Well, it's just something I've been thinking about. It's part of my long-term journey, so I didn't know if we could tie both together.
I mean, do we not have to go for the checkpoints? What other way is there?
Now, Jesse, you're talking.
I
You've
mean,
got an idea there.
stick the kid in a box and go for the checkpoint, but if they're going to see us, then damn.
Yeah. Hey, Vegas, you seem you seem to know what's going on at these checkpoints. Do they have like scanners? Apart from the one for the SCARS agents, what's the kind of general security situation? Is it like
You mean, can I not just, like, put a mustache on and, you know, like, be like, oh, no, it's not me? You know?
Well,
GM, how much do I know about the checkpoints?
That is a great question. Roll me a savvy check, Matt. So you're rolling 2d6, adding your savvy.
Is that the total of the d6s, or am I just taking the highest?
The total of the d6s.
That will be a total of 10 plus with my savvy included. Then.
Amazing. You would know that, yes, they have a couple of different things. They have a weighing thing, so you drive on and they weigh the vehicle as a whole. Then you know that also they have a pretty comprehensive scanner. But you also would know that Old Bessie is fitted to actually deter those scanners. You guys fitted Old Bessie a while ago with a cargo scrambler, or at least Gigabite did. So you would know that that would likely deal with, like, there's a 90% chance that would deal with the scanning problem. The thing that you as you look at the group and you know that the three of the guys are wanted for, is you're more aware that if those three are, you know, seen or recognized, more than anything, like seen, like most SCARS officers don't like know off the top of their head every person who's wanted, you know, but if someone were to recognize them, then yeah, that would probably be a problem. But you also have a huge vehicle. You have a well, I say huge, it's a medium vehicle, but it's a big vehicle. You know, there's ways that you believe that, you know, a checkpoint wouldn't be unfeasible to get through. There's a percentage chance.
And remind me, do we have Old Bessie yet? I thought
No,
we
Old
were
Bessie-
just...
No, we haven't got it.
I didn't think so.
No.
we determined that we're kind of halfway between where Old Bessie is that way and then the checkpoint that way. So actually,
Yeah.
if we go to get Old Bessie, we're going to
I
have to be
thought that
quick
was to get to
back into-
Marbellico or home.
Oh,
it
shit.
was...
Yeah.
We were in
So-
the middle, so we went to
so
Marbellico,
what-
but now we can go.
Yeah, exactly. You guys drove, you were at like a T
my bad.
point, you went to Marbellico. Kensington, Trenton, Duke is like here, and either one is kind of the similar distance to the actual block. They're just across from each other. So it will probably be like a 45-minute drive to Trenton, Kensington, Duke from Marbellico whenever you guys wish to go pick up Old Bessie, if you did want to go and grab her. You also don't have to. You could try and take another vehicle or some other method if you wished.
Can
So here's what
I
I'm
can I ask?
thinking. Go on, Isaac.
Can I make a check to see what the lay of the land is between checks? How porous are the borders between checks?
So there is a large, thick wall made out of what you would assume is like layers of metal with then concrete in the center, and then on the other side layers of metal. So it's a pretty high, thick wall with then what's known as laser wire at the top. It's kind of like barbed wire, but made out of lasers, and almost like is a frequency that then gets pitched in a weird way, so it then like curls like barbed wire basically along the top of the wall. And you know that, yeah, that you could, if you could somehow turn off the laser wire, it wouldn't be infeasible to climb it. Like that's a thing. I mean, you could probably barge through it with enough force, but whether you guys have that available to you, you know, there's ways, but also
That is what is between the checkpoints. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yes.
And are we talking miles of this that's open space?
Yes, miles of this with open space. Probably about every like 50 kilometers or so, there's like not a checkpoint, but like a guard tower, like a stationed guard tower, essentially, between the two major checkpoints, which are quite far from one another.
Trump finally got his wall.
Indeed. Make Mars great again. Make Mars great again.
So here's what I'm thinking. We've got Bessie, and I'm pretty sure you said you'd done something to stop her being scanned or something, Giga.
Yep.
So
Yep, damn right I did. Yep.
one option, let's not go into civilization. I feel that might be a fucking disaster with you three. But let's go
Take that as a compliment.
south. Take it how you will. Let's go south.
You mean towards the scars?
Yeah. You lot chill in the back, and I can drive at that point just to get us over the hump, so to speak. As far as I know, I'm not wanted.
And I can activate the cargo scrambler when you give the go-ahead to make sure to scan for the boy.
And there we go. As far as they'll figure it's just me trying to get my ass across the block and not smuggling 3 gentlemen and a boy.
I think just for their own benefits, I think, Jesse, it might be a good idea having a mustache, and Isaac, put on some makeup. Why not? It can only help, can't it?
Yeah.
Hell,
That's what I'm thinking.
I was going to surprise you all with it. Damn.
Just in case the
Jesse,
cargo
maybe just
scrambler
shave a
doesn't
line
work.
down your head as well.
Okay.
Yeah, reverse mohawk. I've
Sure.
seen that. I used to like a band who did that. Anyhow, if the
Can I
the
like
cargo-
let you know get like a shaver and be like, I'm not the droid you're looking for or something, you know?
I could put some cybernetic spikes in your head if you want.
Oh man, would you?
Oh.
Will it? What will it do?
Wait, we're getting off track. We've got time for that on the road trip. Just in case the cargo scrambler doesn't work,
Yeah, we're
is it
fucked.
worth taking the boy to pieces so that he looks like individual parts? So then if they do scan him, he just looks like parts of a robot or something rather than a fully fledged boy.
Gigabite.
As you say
I
that,
just want to
Laz
explain to you
instantly
that
gets flustered.
you know when you take a boy apart, it's called dismemberment, and it usually means they die.
You can't take him apart now that he's been put together. That would end him.
See, brains.
Well, you didn't think that through, because look, I can just take my arm off, shake it, put my arm back on.
It's always weird when you do that,
Oh.
Gregor.
Why did you
he's
just do
not
that?
designed like that. He's a seamless design. He like pulls up a little bit of Neo's sleeve, and you can see that there's no joint at the shoulder. It's just one blend of almost like looking like his body is kind of like that next level of augment to you, Gigabite, that you've not seen. That is that like seamless blend between like body form and machine.
You're gonna have to teach me how to
nice.
do that.
I'm sure my wife
Sublime.
would be happy to, but please don't take Neo here apart. And the young lad looks at you guys and is like, I don't really want to be taken apart. I mean, if we have to. And Laz kind of puts his hand on
Fuck,
him.
I forgot.
Don't worry.
We should really cover his fucking ears while we're discussing.
Yeah, no,
Does he have
little
like
lad, we're not.
a button we can press to turn off the ears or something?
Yeah, like a mute button. But where's the
Yeah,
mute
yeah,
button
yeah.
for? Or a
Are
remote
you
control.
misunderstanding this situation? He's meant to be as human as possible. Look,
Okay,
Neo,
okay,
why
okay.
don't you
So
go play
what
get some of
exactly
your stuff ready?
is our plan? Are we like gonna be transporting goods? Because otherwise they're just like, why the hell are you going across the border? Well, I mean,
Well, there's a lot of shit in this shop. We could fill the van with stuff to look like we're just transporting
hey,
scrap and
what
stuff
about
like that.
if we actually do have some counterfeit shit? Then when they find it, if they find it, then we go, oh, I'm so sorry. And then we go, you have it.
Then they'll arrest
A
Vegas.
double,
and
the
then
old
we're
double
fucked.
bluff.
Yeah,
I
I'm
like that.
pretty sure that's gonna get us arrested, and then we're all fucked. So why don't
Keep
we?
working on it,
I
big
like
fella.
this idea of
You're
having some
doing all right.
legit stuff. Let's have some legit stuff like in the seat next to me, and I can just say we're here to sell some of this shit.
I like that too.
Yeah.
I'll sell
like
it.
that,
Don't
yeah.
worry, I'll sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. As this is going on, I'm just looking around the shelves to see if there's anything cool, and I'm trying to get the most valuable things. I'm starting to put things in my pocket as well that I feel would be personally nicely owned, but also in the kind of in the realm of starting to collect trash that we're going to take into old Bessie.
Perfect. Roll me an observation check. 2d6. You don't add anything to it. for the rest of you, Laz goes, "That's a great idea. I assume your vehicle's parked right outside, and we can just load up the gear from my shop straight into your vehicle."
Well,
Shit.
We got a vehicle outside.
yeah, our other one is, well, it's way off.
The big one? The one you
Yeah.
call, what is it?
Yeah.
Old Bessie.
Young?
Oh, Bessie, yeah.
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 That was an
We
8.
can use your truck though, Vegas, can't we, to get back to old Bessie?
Sorry, I was going to let Isaac do his observation bit first.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking.
Observation bit for Isaac is as you're kind of going around, you find a bunch of different things. You find a whole mixture of bits and bobs that you think would definitely be sellable, something that you guys could use as fake cargo kind of stuff, and you can see that there's lots of things that would be valuable enough to portray that kind of look. But you specifically, something that you specifically find that kind of takes your interest is you find like what looks like a small like flashlight. You know, like the little ones that you get that have like the clicky button at the bottom, and typically are filled with like a AA battery kind of vibe. You look at it, and as you're kind of holding it, you slide the side of it that seems to have like a little latch over, and you can see that there's like a really small little gem inputted in between two like machines. And as you slide it back over, and you can see that there's like a little like on switch, you flick it on, and a small grows out of it as a small light beam protrudes from the bottom, and you have yourself basically like a switchblade lightsaber, essentially, a tiny little switchblade lightsaber.
Give me a couple of them. I'm going to install them on my arms.
No, this one's for me. And I switch it on, and I'm mesmerized by it, and I start bringing my finger up, and I just cut into my finger a little bit, and I look at my finger.
What are you doing, Isaac?
You see what I found?
You take 1 point of heart damage as you singe the end of your finger.
Just a reminder,
As it begins
everyone, we
smelling
took
like
4
cooking
blues last session because of what Isaac was doing.
It smells of cooking meat now as you guys continue talking to Laz on the other side of the room, where Isaac has got his back to you currently.
But while he fucks around with that, I'm getting hungry. But
Vegas,
Jesse,
do we not need like paperwork and shit for this cargo? You know, formal stuff saying, "Hey, we're taking this some A to B."
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, we're going to need papers, right?
Well, and I turn to Laz and I say, "Well, how the fuck do you get shit in here and out of here anyway? Do you trade across the border?"
My next question.
Yeah, you must be a legitimate businessman, Lars, in some degree.
I mean, yeah, I get shipments coming over here all the time. I mean, you could pose as one of my shipments, but usually they're coming towards me, not away from me.
Well, you've got to be sending stuff out again, though,
just
haven't you?
returning it because it was faulty, I suppose. And we're the couriers.
I do send things back that are faulty. That's actually a good idea right there. I think Mr. What was it, Mr.
Gigabite. Call me Gigabite. Or
Gigabite.
Fixer. Considering he gave himself a fancy name last time, Phoenix, fucking mug. I'll be the fixer.
Danny, as you say that, can you please roll me a sanity check?
Oh. Is that 2d6 or not the 1d6 I have to do at the start of every day, just a general sanity check?
2d6, yeah, 2d6.
Yeah. Oh, I got 11.
11, beautiful. You kind of feel something almost twinge in the back of your mind, but it goes away very quickly. And it, maybe just like a small, like moment, where you think you're about to have a headache, but then it kind of fades for a second. That kind of vibe. So I think that's a really good idea. Getting across the border. I actually, and he goes over to one of his drawers and opens the door and pulls out a piece of paper and begins like writing on it. you can see that he kind of folds it up and hands it to you, Zane, and goes, "This is a return slip. Usually it's presented at the border, suggesting that there's some sort of cargo that needs to be returned to the main city."
Nice. Yeah, that'll do. One other thing, lads, just while I remember. You don't happen to have any shotgun shells, do you?
He looks at you with though he's heard of your exploits as a smuggler, he didn't realize that you were of that sort. Though you carry pistols and stuff, but he's always assumed it's more for show, because you never know who you're going to kind of engage with. As he's like, let me have a look, and he goes.
Don't
back.
get me wrong, I don't really fancy on using them because they're loud as fuck, but if you want me to protect this boy, then I picked up a new weapon yesterday, and figured I might as well take it with me.
I won't ask a man where he finds such things. You don't shoot and tell,
Don't
I
ask,
suppose.
don't tell.
Exactly. Dave, can you please roll me a d6 for how many shotgun shells Laz is able to find?
Nice. Gonna get the grog dice for 4. There you go.
He finds a box of that would have contained 6 shells, but there's 2 missing out of the front. And he hands you a box of shells that are stood upright with their golden, firing, where the firing pin hits, kind of place sticking up to the top. I don't know what it's called. I'm not a bullet guy.
Nice. That should do the job. Thanks, Les. Right, gents, so we got any more questions? We got the papers. We're going to load up some stuff. I imagine this boy needs a nap. Does he nap?
I was... Ooh.
He will shut down for a couple of hours to allow his core to recharge. But no midday napping as of yet. I've been trying to make sure that he actually studies and stays awake during the day.
Actually, speaking of power sources, I'm assuming you're a self-charging type situation. We don't have to plug him in.
Indeed, yes. It's a hydro-lithium core that we invented.
How far is the border from here?
Can I have the
We gotta
schematics
get
for
back
that
to-
so I can install one into Old Bessie, by any chance? Potentially in my own head.
Sure. He goes downstairs and comes back with a tube that has it's like one of those almost blueprint-like tubes that someone would carry if they were going through like a city transporting that kind of stuff around, and hands it to you as like a little shoulder strap, and he hands it to you. He goes, sure. Be careful though. It's mighty powerful if you get it wrong.
What did I say? I'm the fixer. If it can't be fixed, it's not worth fixing. I'm your man. And I'll stuff it into my bag.
That's a very deep bag you have there. Golly, that was a long tube. A3
I've
size
smushed
and
it.
all.
I've smushed it in.
Oh, well, I'm glad. Oh, golly, that's years of my life being folded. So, golly.
No.
While this is all going on, I get down on one knee and I'm kind of face to face with the kid, and I'm just making little faces with him, and I'm kind of poking his cheeks and poking his nose and sticking my tongue out, and just trying to like engage with him in a way that is trying to be nice, but is coming across maybe slightly creepy.
Do you mean
in
maybe?
a different
Slightly. This kid's just
Who's your
watched you
friend?
chop your finger.
Who is your friend? Yeah, who's got you protected? Who has you protected today? Yeah, your friend Isaac has you protected,
Isaac,
doesn't he?
leave the boy
Yeah.
alone.
Can I
You
take a
see
blue for
Neo.
that? Because that freaked me out.
Yes, of course you can take a blues for that. The kid is kind of like leaning back and goes, Dad, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go find some of my gear and make sure I'm ready for the trip. I'm gonna go grab my stuff. And Lad's like, oh, okay. okay, little fella. You hurry on now.
No,
What shit could he possibly need to bring with him?
Well, I mean, he's a young boy. Maybe like a sleeping bag for maybe his toys. He has a couple of toys.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm sure Jesse will get endless fun out of them toys.
Look, Zane, look.
Damn right.
I understand that this is a precarious situation for you, and I understand that this is not what I would usually ask of you. I just simply ask you to bring my groceries usually. But look, whether this is a joke or something much worse to you, I'm trying to contain some sort of innocence for this here child. You know, I want him to live a life as normal as he can.
If you wanted to give that boy a normal life, I would not have brought him up here.
Hey, Zane, and I elbow Zane. I elbow Zane and I say, would you fucking, he's trying to have a moment here. Just fucking shut up. Go ahead, continue, old man.
I just mean, just please respect him and care for him. You know, he's just try and understand. Find it in your heart. I'm sure you were all young men once.
Laz, is he going to be able to be a boy who grows up on the asteroids?
I mean, I want him to make his own decisions. He deserves to have the freedom of choice to be whoever he wants to be.
And daggum, I'll die making sure he gets that opportunity.
As he's saying
he
that,
looks at you, Jesse, and like makes eye contact and is and like nods to you very knowingly.
As he's talking, completely reflexively, tears are coming out of Isaac's eyes, and he's trying to wipe them away so that no one can see. He's just like, let's get the boy and listen, old man, he's gonna be fine. Vegas, tell him he's gonna be fine. Vegas, fucking tell him he's gonna be fine. We're gonna take care of him.
We'll do what we can, lads. I don't make promises no more. But you know me. We'll do what we can.
Thank you for understanding and I appreciate you all, and maybe one day if you survive this, if we all survive this, we can meet up and get some grub. I heard the nachos in Cinco City are meant to be really good.
Have you ever tried it with the red sauce?
No.
Oh, that red sauce blew my arsehole out last time we had it. Fuck.
Oh, mate, he's so good, Les. You've got to try it. I can walk straight for weeks.
Worth it.
Les, do me a favor. If we, Sorry, I don't want to interrupt the sauce joke. No, I'm sure it's all lovely, but...
I was just going to bring up my prostate problem. It's okay.
I don't need to be hearing any more about that. We do this, and we're successful. I don't want to see you again, because I want you to be hauling your ass to wherever this boy's going. Don't make that boy grow up without a father.
Just don't be followed.
That's true.
Okay.
As Jesse says plans. That, I put a fist like this just down by my waist, and I just bump it next to Jesse's to kind of low fist bump him, like that. That was something that I missed, and I don't say anything. I just like want to acknowledge to him that, yeah, we don't want this boy growing up without a father.
Yeah. One last question, which is a bit trivial after all of that deep stuff, but is there a way to access the boy's factory settings at any point to make his voice less squeaky, less like yours? Because I think if I'm travelling with him for that long, it's going to do my fucking nutting.
Well, children often mimic their parents, and they grow up from the environment that they're in. He's only ever known me as most in a way since he turned on.
Jesse's miming behind
I'm
Lad.
sure
just
we can educate him.
Just basically baseball batting a kid, like,
like a puberty button or something, so we can, get him a proper voice. Like Ray Winston.
Look, mate, I'm gonna just say this. You sound like a gravel being mowed by more gravel. I don't complain about the sound of gravel in your voice. Fucking Vegas over there sounds like he's trying to be a soul singer mixed with some sort of cowboy folk.
Oh, yeah.
Look, we have to choose the voice that we're grown with. Jesus Christ! What? Like, I feel like you're really chastising a small robot boy for just being who he is.
Look, time is slipping away. So, Vegas, I'll point it out. How far away is this border checkpoint thing? I know we got to go and get old Bessie, but can we?
Well, we go get Bessie. It's about 45 minutes from there to the checkpoint in Bessie.
Okay.
Well, you've got till
whole ass. Be there an hour.
You got till tomorrow evening, so if you need to do any preparations or anything, as long as you're heading off by at least tomorrow morning, you should make it.
No, that's all right. That's cool. I didn't know whether we needed to move the boy closer, but that sounds all good.
Do you think
Why don't we take him back to
inspiration?
Kensington,
David, your next roll is going to be against the odds for Jules just breaking hard through the metaverse. Just I'm joking.
I've got no idea what's going on here, mate.
Jules just fucking ripping through fucking Jesse's mind.
Jumped into a planar portal.
Hello. Love it.
Do we think it's the sort of situation where we need to get to the checkpoint nice and early when it's not busy, or would that bring more scrutiny on us? And is it best to go when it is really busy, where they're kind of just ushering everyone through because they're really, really busy? What do you think is the best play?
When do you usually get your shipments across the block? Is that midday or morning or evening?
Well, my delivery guy usually arrives around here around like 2, 4, 5 in the afternoon, so he's got to be setting off pretty early in the morning and crossing the block at who knows, maybe quarter to 1, maybe 12.
Yeah, but you also said that you don't usually return stuff, so I mean that's got to be an issue. We're going to be out of sorts, so I say we either go when it's busy and we risk being stationary for a bit, but I mean I guess.
Let's just head in the morning, shall we? Let's go rest up.
Yeah,
just get this shit done.
Get out of the way.
I take it the distance from the checkpoint to the port is a little ways as way. Oh well.
Let's just deal with the checkpoint first, and then fucking worry about the rest of that shit.
There's a bit of open wasteland between the checkpoint and Cinco City for sure.
Well, let's go get old Bessie.
We got enough time. I mean, we putting ourselves in a spot where if it's too crowded at the checkpoint and we're backed up a mile and a half to get through that fucking checkpoint, and time's a ticking, and we miss the fucking drop off. I mean, let's just do the math, boys.
Good point. Let's
So
get
let's
there
go
as
in
we
the
can.
morning.
Let's try and hit the morning rush hour.
All right. Morning it is.
Neo. Where the fuck that boy?
The young lad rushes back in the room, and you see that as he walks back in, he kind of like stiffens up, looks at Gigabite, and goes, I hope this is a little bit better. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm ready. I've got all my stuff, and you can see in his hand he's got like a little action figure of a popular superhero from comics, known as Honey Badger. He's this dude with kind of spiky hair on either side that has like claws that grow out of his hands. He's part of the F-Men, and. And
you see, I was always a fan of Professor Y. That was always my favorite man.
Oh, he looks and he goes, yeah, he's super cool. The way he just kind of runs around and does all those physical powers. He's great.
Yeah, it's that occasional super strength always had me. I was like, yeah, let's do that. But hell, Honey Badger's good too.
I love the twist that Mr. Lee put on him by making it occasional super strength. Like sometimes it worked and other times it didn't. Like that, you're so right. That was so cool.
Yeah.
It's like a roll of the dice or something.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I'm
Look, kid,
ready.
you're gonna need something to carry that stuff around in. So, Laz, has he got a lunchbox or something?
Laz pulls out like a little like shoulder sack bag that kind of has a drawstring at the top. Imagine, I imagine y'all probably put your like boots in to go to gym class in England, your football boots and stuff. Those ones with the drawstrings kind of vibe.
Like a JD sports bag.
Exactly. And he gets it all stuffed in there, and Laz's like, okay, now then, hear me now. You go be who you're gonna be, son, and do me proud. Remember what I said. Please and thank you to everyone. You be polite now, and always eat with both pieces of cutlery. Never one. That's rude. Elbows off the table, and tell your mother when you see her. Tell her that I miss her and I love her. And Neo looks up. Well, kind of at the same level to his father.
I was just about to say, I don't even think we've got a fucking spoon, but just let him have his speech.
Yeah. Let them do
Laz kind of peers around the side of Neo at you two, and then kind of comes back into behind Neo's head. And he's like, Neo's like, I will, Dad, and I promise I'll take care of Mum for you, and hurry, like they said, come find me, and yeah, I love you. And Laz begins to like tear up, and he kind of wipes one tear and is like, I love you more than the moons and stars, my boy. And plants a little kiss on his forehead before kind of turning away and placing his hand on the counter. And you can now like hear the tears kind of landing on the dust-covered glass counter. As he goes, go on then, you lot. You best be on your way now before it gets too late.
And to try and comfort the boy, I know he doesn't have hair, but as if I've tousled his hair, and then to try and mimic his favourite F-Man character, his claws, I'll put my hand up like that, and then like a screwdriver, a spanner, and a switchblade will come out.
He's like, whoa, you're just, that's so cool, and you've got the goatee like him too. Nice. Yeah. I'm sorry that, and he looks at you and says, I'm sorry my voice was so squeaky earlier. I was just trying to, I hope this is more acceptable to your...
Yeah, he was only banter, but that is much better. Yeah, appreciate it. I think we can teach each other a few things.
I just want to be cool like you one day. That'd be awesome.
And I'll look at the others in the room as if say, "Did you hear that? He thinks I'm fucking cool."
Jesse,
yeah, he'll learn.
You hear from Jesse as he's like, I'm gonna go get the van, and just goes outside because he can't handle the emotions.
Amazing.
I turn to Neo and I say, I've been working on my accents, and it's part of my long-term plan to have just be able to do an accent for a scene or something like that. And so the way you just did that, when you went downstairs and you had this one, and then you came back, and can you do like a Mars Oz, the down under accent? Can you do that down under one that they you know what I mean?
You see, for a strange second, the boy's eyes seem to gloss over as he looks off into the distance. And within a millisecond, he goes, yeah, apparently I do know. Good day, mate. How you doing?
Oh my
You look
Lord.
like a bit of a fuckhead, mate. You got got a bit of a tuft of hair on your fucking head. And then, like, he kind of twitches and, was that it?
That was
fucking
incredible.
You can do that again.
Oh,
Wait. If we have any kind of scanner necessity, can you just mimic any voice, like an adult's voice that is a certain? If you hear it once, could you just use that voice?
Like an adult's voice that you could use like once?
Are you seeing this?
Fucking hell.
And I elbow Vegas.
Do me! Come on, geezer, down to the fucking pub and let's go have a pint.
Dance, monkey, dance.
Amazing. Does anyone else want to do anything while you guys are here in Laz's shop? I assume you guys are going to collect some crates full of stuff to load up into to Old Bessie.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Vegas will probably turn to the rest of the crew and
Do me a favor, boys. Just, I need one last moment with Laz before we fuck off.
Yeah. Come on, Neo, let's get you settled
load
in.
that onto the van and...
You guys head outside to join Jesse, who has made his way over to Zane's little boat hole. And are you guys leaving the Void-Corp bikes, or are you pulling them back out, as well as the droid waitress? What's happening with them?
can we fit the bikes and everything else in Bessie, or?
In Bessie, no. On top of Bessie, yes.
She has, a big roof rack thing. But the thing is, though, if we have the bikes in the bed of the truck, we won't have the supplies.
Yeah, we can't take Void-Corp fucking bikes across the border. That's the biggest red flag in the history of red flags.
That's what I was thinking.
True story.
I mean, but we could we get them modded? Get some paint on them or something like that, or just get them ripped apart a little bit.
I mean, not really overnight, though, I guess.
Yeah.
This feels like a longer term thing to me, so...
I would have thought that the void bugs would have been useful if we needed a decoy or distraction, but I guess, can we not leave him where old Bessie is and we can come back for him?
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
Yes.
Or just
Hang
leave
on,
them
Jesse.
Here.
Is there a way... Listen to me, Giga. Just hear me out here. Can we put some sort of balance device on these bikes and run them into the border right next to the checkpoint, like a little diversion type thing next to the checkpoint, like a mile, like half a mile away from the checkpoint, right? These bikes go crashing into the wall while we're in the fucking line, right? And all of the goddamn attention is, and resources are being moved down there, and they're just shuffling people through. They're just saying, fucking, we got problems over here. I mean, that could happen, or they could just lock the whole fucker down. I don't know. That's just something I
like where you're going with this, because what we could potentially do, even if we use it once we get past the checkpoint to create a diversion while we're at the docks to then get away on the docks, we could take the android waitress. I could work on her and the bike overnight, and then she could ride the bike wherever we need it to go to create that distraction for us, either at the checkpoint or on the dock. I like it.
And I turn to Vegas and I elbow him in the side and I say, "What do you say,
Vegas
boss?"
isn't there. Vegas is still in the shop.
Okay.
Yeah,
Vegas.
downstairs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I say, let's ask Vegas about that. But hey, one more thing. And I poke Jesse in the chest and I say, "Listen up.
Yeah.
Giga, come on in here as well. Look, I don't want any problems with Vegas."
Wait, Neo comes in. Can I come in? And he pokes his head
Yeah.
between you guys who are stood in a circle and kind of like muscles his head in.
As he does that, I pull out my laser saber switchblade and I open it up and I say,
Can you make me
Nonsense.
Can you make me? It's essentially just a like, you know, how well sure-handed you are with this little switchblade that you have. Can you please make me a muscle or savvy check? Please?
Isaac has no penis.
So that's a 6 plus. Hang on a second. Fuck's sake. What's more savvy? Yeah. So it's a 7.
That's a 7. Awesome. Okay. With a 7, you pull it out and you light it, and as you do, you go to like chuck it up in the air and then catch it, and you kind of fumble it and drop it, and you drop it perfectly vertically with the laser bit going downwards, as you watch it sink into the ground and disappear into the ground as the laser blade slices the ground before you as it begins descending down through the earth.
I dive down and I start like digging for it and try to grab it with one arm. It's like my arm is sunk deep into the ground trying to grab that thing.
Cool, awesome. Make me a grit check.
Yep, that's a 10. Hang on a second. 10 plus. That's a 12.
12, beautiful. You managed to just grab it and pull it out, but you instantly get a realization that if you were to drop this, the likelihood is that would be a very bad situation if it's ignited. But you managed to pull it back out, and Neo and the other two are just looking at you wide-eyed as you drop this, dive down, pull it back up, and then stand in front of them again.
Dust myself off. And as I was thinking of using it as a little like mini threat to Neo, I see just the ridiculousness of the situation, and I hit the button again, and I put it in my pocket, and I say, you just keep what we say to yourself. There's different levels of what we say, and if I tell you don't say anything to anyone in this group, then you don't say anything to anyone that's outside of this group. You hear me? And I get down to him.
Sure, Butterfingers. Sure.
Okay. And I start laughing hysterically, and to the point where it's like full-on laughter. He called me Butterfingers. Did you see that little fucker call me? That was a joke. He knows jokes. Giga, did you? And then I turn on the dime and I go, now listen up, motherfuckers. I do not want a problem with Vegas, but he is holding 1 million of our chips, and we need to do something to make sure that we all get a fucking piece of that pie at the end of this trip.
What?
So I'm gonna talk to him.
What do you mean? He's got them all?
And I say to Jesse, no, you got fucking 50 in your pocket, and I got 50 in my pocket, and I slap Jesse, and I say, fucking start thinking right, Jesse.
You open palm slap Jesse across the face.
You mean?
Yes, he fucking has them all. He has them all on a fucking card. A card that he could disappear
we could just
with.
ask him to tap it on our credit dongles and split it between us, or I could just try and hack it and split it between us anyway.
Look, I don't want any problems with Vegas. I want to work with Vegas, but we don't know Vegas more than we know Vegas. So let's just have
moment, as you say, we don't know Vegas as much as we know Vegas. We cut back over into the store where Vegas is talking to Laz. Vegas, over to you.
As the boys exit, then Vegas is just going to walk up to where Laz has sort of got his back turned, and he's rubbing his eyes, and pick up a rag off the bench or whatever, and just, here, old man.
Thank you. And he begins kind of dabbing at his eyes. You must understand. Have you ever had kids, Vegas?
No. But I had a family once. Or at least what I thought was family. So I kind of get where you're coming from. I don't like that you lied to me, Laz. Don't like being honest. Don't like dishonest
Sorry, I dropped some
Laz-
shit off your
Laz-
desk there.
Yeah, I was gonna say Laz knocked something off the counter. Oh shit!
My bad. Don't like being lied to. But I get why you did it. I get it, Laz. You were my first friend, so I understand why you're asking me. I understand why you're asking my boys, I guess. I promise you I will do whatever I can to get your boy to where he needs to go. But I'm also going to tell you this, if I can't do that, I'm going to make sure I do whatever is fucking humanly possible, or cybernetically possible if we're talking about Giga, that boy gets to safety. I can't guarantee I'll get him to his mama, but I will get him to safety. You understand?
I may seem like a simple old man who runs a corner shop. Zane, I have lived a long life. I'm not sure whether I will be around long enough to see my boy's next stories and the memories he will build, but I will say this. I'm no fool. I'm not ignorant to the ways of the solar system. I know what lies ahead of you, and I know the risk that you're taking. I appreciate you infinitely, and if a time comes where my heart beats and you need something, I am in your debt forever, Zane Vegas. So, and just you remember
it's just
that.
Vega. Vegas is sort of a nickname.
It seems so...
Zane Vega, and then Vegas. Yeah, it's an old city on Earth. City? Yeah, I suppose you can call it a city. It was fucking huge. Big flashlight. I don't know where I got the nickname. It just made sense. But, anyway, I digress. Look, old man, I need you to do me a favor. If you get word that I bit the proverbial bullet, I need you to blow my bolt hole to high hell. Understood?
It would be my pleasure to blow something the fuck up one more time before I die.
That's what I'm talking about, Laz. Good man.
Last time was so long ago. A mere couple of months.
Yep. Okay. I appreciate we're having a little bit of a moment here, but if you want me to get your son to the block, then,
sorry.
I gotta move.
And he presents a hand as you now look at him, and he's a little bit more straighter and less hunched than he was before. You can see a bit of whatever act he had going has kind of removed itself as he presents like a predator like hand to you for like a handshake type vibe.
Vegas will probably look at the hand and then, fuck it, old man, come here, and we'll pull Laz in for a hug.
Amazing. As you give Laz a hug, we cut away from Marbellico into another spaceship. You see a woman with mousy brown hair, long down to her sides, in a white vest tank top and orange overalls that say SCARS prisoner number, and the number's kind of smudged out on the leg. You can see that she's shifting and moving some little bits and bobs on the console, on the control console in front of her, and she just looks over to a small Polaroid photo of Neo, taps it and goes, "I'm on my way, baby. Mama's coming." Cool. Matt, you rejoin the others at your boat hold. You drive the truck around and pick up the cargo that you guys were looking to get. Now, are you taking one or both of the bikes, guys?
I think one bike and one android, and the android waitress to ride it. So then we'll have space on the.
Hang on, why are we taking a fucking bike now? I thought we were just going across the.
Isaac has had an absolutely diamond idea. I'm going to retrofit the android waitress onto the motorbike. She's going to drive into a wall, create a distraction so we can get onto the dock and escape.
That was my idea.
They're not just going to close the checkpoint if something
No,
gets
we'll do it
attacked.
after the checkpoint when we get to the actual docking station, and then everyone's going to go, "Oh my god, what was that?"
I see. Now I get it. Now I get it. So it's not it's after the checkpoint.
Yeah.
I take it we're
that
just
idea.
putting this bike on the roof, covering him with a tarp or something.
Well, I think we might be able to fit one bike inside old Bessie with the android. It'll be a tight squeeze, like, but I think we'll be able to do it. We'll all be a bit.
That's all right.
I
I
think
can
we can
I
squeeze
can ride the bike with the waitress. I don't mind.
What, and
I'm
kamikaze
fucking
yourself
glad
into a
I'm
wall and
driving this
die?
truck.
No, in the truck, you idiot.
Yo, Jesse, that isn't a real person. That waitress.
Wait,
when you say the
you
word
wanna-
waitress, that's not a real waitress. You
No,
can't date
you
her,
wanna-
Jesse.
You want to ride the bike in the vehicle?
I'm
Neo
just saying
begins
somewhere to
laughing.
sit.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Right, let's get loaded up and get to whatever it is. Kensington, Trendon, do.
Yeah. Let's do that. But look here, Vegas. I'm gonna tell you, we all really want to work here and do this job, but we want to do it in a way that it makes sense to everyone. So this is not with any kind of like fucking craziness going on in
Spit it
my
out,
eyes.
Isaac.
We need fucking 1/3 and 1/4 each of that goddamn million fucking credits right now.
Neo puts
Fucking
his
hell,
hand
you
on his
couldn't just
hips
ask
and
that
goes,
straight away?
1/5, I'm in.
Shut
Hey
up.
man, I'm just trying to be a fucking
You push
team
Neo in
player.
your face. Ah.
Isaac, just ask. Look, we're
I
all
did.
in this together as far as I'm concerned, so less of the bullshit. I appreciate you just getting to the point. Like, you want
I did.
250,000, I'll give you your 250,000.
Right.
Holds up the million credit check.
I'll present my
Just,
whatever it is, Apple Pay.
and I'm assuming this is just like Apple Pay and just
Yeah, just watch.
Other payment services are available.
What it is there's a new
Charges
way
me,
that
wow.
credits are kind of kept on a person, because often credit chips and things like that are stolen by bounty hunters or bandits, those kind of smugglers, that kind of stuff. So each one of you has a small chip and machinery in your wrist, basically, that displays the number of credits that are on your person at any one point. It also then has a scanning thing. So if you wanted to scan, to buy things, it's all done with your wrist, basically. If you want to scan into a bank, similar thing. If you want to transfer credits with someone,
Power
then you
Rangers.
would do it by placing wrists together, like so. Or like.
see, I was
holding, like,
thinking,
gripping
was it
hands or
About
things like that.
Time, the Justin Timberlake movie?
Exactly,
That one.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. LEDs showing up underneath the skin, perfect. That's a great way to imagine it. Yeah, exactly.
Give me a wrist, Isaac, and 250's yours. I'm not fucking around.
I give Vegas my wrist, and as he transfers the credits, it goes from red, and it bleeps, and I'm looking at it, and it's still red, which means I'm still in debt, even after that credit fucking transfer. And I just close it down as quickly as I can to make sure no one else sees that I'm more than 250,000 in debt.
Danny, does Zane see Isaac's wrist as the amount on Isaac's wrist as the transfer happens?
Yeah. Oh, you wanted me to roll, didn't you?
No, not at all. Not at all. I wanted you to just.
I rolled a
just
10,
decide.
so yes, he did.
Amazing. Perfect.
Do I see that he sees?
Oh,
I assume-
this is
I
an
assume-
exception.
Do
I
I see
see
that
that
he sees that he sees?
Fuck's sake. Oh, Christopher Nolan's so excited about that. That's taking the sequel to the next level there, guys. Go on. You tap it on his wrist. You both look down at the number, and then both look up at each other, fully aware that you have both just seen the amount and the transfer go in, and how much is left to be paid. Tom, how much is left to be paid before you come back to zero?
So that's 250,000 have just gone in. There's another 50,000 that's red. So there was 300,000 in debt from bad bets and losses at poker tables.
Jesse is completely oblivious to all of this and is just shaking his wrists.
1 minute, Jesse. 1 minute. Isaac, I don't be needing any shit hanging over us, so take 50,000 extra. My cut.
Are you fuck Vegas? 50,000?
Just call it evens. I don't need anything hanging over you while we're doing this job. I need you clear and focused.
I'll give it back to you at the end. I'll clear my debts.
Well, you don't need to, Isaac, because he'll owe you another 50,000 at the when we get the other mill. So it all works out in the end.
I say I clear my debts as seriously as I can after having shown him the fucking
giant
arcade fucking
the arcade score of debt.
The arcade score of debt on my wrist.
However, in this moment, both Zane and Isaac, you're going to take a blues each, because for both of you, for you, Zane, it's a true sign of you trying to trust someone for the first time in a long time. And Isaac, for you, a small fire ignites within the deep subconscious of your mind. You feel this fire ignite, and you can almost picture it in your head, a blue flame just kind of dancing like a candle in a very gentle breeze.
In the wind.
As you almost hear a voice say, "Love." And that's what you feel in that moment. Cool. You see as Jesse's wrist still jangling towards you, Zane.
All right, Jesse, just give me a fucking wrist and just tap it. 250,000 gone, and then I'll just look at the chip, and I'll tap it on my own wrist. 200,000, and then Giga, and just flick it towards Gigabite.
I'll go pick it up off the floor after I dropped it. I'll look at Zane and I'll, knowing what he's just done for Isaac, "You're a diamond geezer," and I'll tap it on my wrist to give myself my cut.
Beautiful.
What I'll do, I'll leave 2 credits on it. So then, and then I'll give it to Neo and be like, "Yeah, fella, here's your cut."
He looks at it and he goes, "Whoa! I've never had any of my credits of my own." And he taps it on his own wrist as you guys can see through the translucent skin of his wrist, the actual what would be in your guys' wrist ticking over, and you can see the digital numbers changing just slightly, 1, 2 on his wrist, and he's like, "Wild! I'm gonna buy something so awesome with this." And you guys load up into the truck, cargo, bike, waitress, and you just you hear the V6 engine of the truck rev and splutter as the wheels spin on the red dirt of Mars Cinco as you tear off towards Kensington, Trentington, and Duke. And as you guys tear off, I think that's a good moment for us to take a little break, everyone.
Ooh, boy.
As you guys tear off towards Kensington, Trentington, and Duke, we cut over to the checkpoint of the block. You can see two gentlemen stood there, one holding a rifle in a white suit that has like black lines up the arms, looking almost like the very similar to like the Bruce Lee kind of get up, that yellow with the black lines, but it's white with lines. And you can see that on top of that is like body armor that has been clipped together with buckles basically on top of that. Small little helmet with like a one screen visor over one eye. And one of them is like, oh God, I fucking hope today's shift ends a little bit faster and I can go home early. I'm fucking bored. And the other one goes, I managed to get the day off tomorrow. I actually traded my shift with one of the newbies, a fucking absolute chump. Yeah, just fucking absolute idiot. His name's Kyle Drexler or some shit. He's just been recently appointed. Fucking, what an idiot. And the other one looks off in the distance and goes, you know, we haven't had any problems here recently for a while. It's usually not a good sign. And that's where we'll properly end and go off to break.
The image I have in my head of the guards, you know, in Dragon Ball Z, is it like the Ginju Force who come down looking for Goku? And they've got the big shoulder pads, the one-eye visor.
Yes, yeah.
Like?
Less big shoulder pad and more think like modern kind of big body armor, but it is, yes, similar kind of vibe. Very similar kind of vibe. Similar like hat vibe going on, like helmet with visor. Yeah. You're definitely
Nice.
And it's like two dudes just sat like chilling, looking out at a desert where not much is fucking happening at all. Tumbleweed kind of vibes.
I'm also guessing that these two guards are, you know, sort of slightly overweight, probably eating a very cream bagel and just be like, nothing happens here.
Exactly, dude. That's
one of them has
exactly
definitely
the
dripped
vibes.
something down the front of them and they just don't care anymore.
Yeah. Exactly. He's got a mustard stain from the hot dog he ate earlier.
Nice.
The hot dog he got out of a fucking vending machine that pre-cooks them that they have for the guards' lunches. Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. Cool. Right,
Nice.
guys, thank you so much for watching this first half of More Magic. Matt, I know you have some announcements to do about scheduling stuff. Would you like to do those now before we go into break? And then we'll go into break?
Yeah, let's do them quickly. So hopefully folks have seen sort of the social media post today around our June schedule. Now, I'll be very honest, we as a group of 5 are all over the fucking shop during June. So we're mixing things up a little bit. Campaign 2, the next episode, we are going to delay until we can get most of the crew together. But we've also got some exciting things coming up. So next week will be the first of our Origins story. Or stories for our Campaign 2 characters. So we will be starting with Cavern, which is exciting, and then we will be moving on to Edgius the week after that. And then we have got an amazing partnership lined up. So some folks will have seen us posting around the Mystic Quill Collective, and we've called out Nikki and the gang a couple of times over the last couple of weeks during our sessions. They are just about to release their first ever adventure module, their first one-shot on BackerKit, and they have asked us kindly to preview that for them and for all of you as well. So we will be running a very special one-shot towards the end of June, and then we will be taking a week off just because I think everybody's going to need that reset in the first week of July, but back second week of July with the next episode of Campaign 2 as well. So all of that stuff that happened last week we will pick up. You're just going to have to wait a little bit for it, but yeah, enough said from me. It's all on social media if you need the details, or you can drop into the Discord and ask us all about it. We will be posting updates as we go through this month as well, so stay tuned folks, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Catch you back here in a couple, people. What
Hey,
is
yo.
up, everyone? Welcome back to Malt and Magic. In the first half, our
Poor
players...
Bodhi was just about to take a drink there.
It's fine,
you know,
I gave a countdown. You could have stopped me.
It was totally my dumb moment. I was just like, you know what, I really would like a drink of water before we start, and I was like, it's too late. You're an idiot, Bodhi. In the last half, our players took Neo from Laz and began their plans of how they were going to cross the block, a border that crosses the entire way the entire way across Mars Cinco, this fragmented chunk of the old planet that used to be Mars, and they came up with some good plans. I'm curious to see how it's going to go. I'm really excited. So yeah, we're gonna get straight back into it. So if everyone's sitting comfortable, then we'll get going. I'll say that you guys arrived back at Kensington, Trentington, and Duke, unobscured. And the town of Kensington, Trentington, and Duke is a pretty simple town. It's got a small perimeter wall made out of like scrap corrugated bits of metal. Most of the town itself is like corrugated metal houses or like yurts kind of vibes. And there is one bar that is your guys' current local, the one that you guys frequent the most often, run by Vinny Bang Bang Santorini, a character that you guys are friendly with, and just parked outside of this quaint little town is old Bessie, your guys' vehicle that is a converted military vehicle that Gigabite has done up and made some modifications to, and that you guys all currently actually live in. So what we're going to do is we're going to go about it like this. To start off, Danny, I would like you to describe, what does the outside of old Bessie look like?
So, just to give you a bit of a vibe of what old Bessie looked like, think of quite an old utility vehicle. You know, the sort of old military truck that's kind of got two wheels at the back, as in not two wheels on each side at the back, so four wheels at the back, two at the front. It's shaped like a land boat, essentially, but then it's just got it's got a roof rack with loads of shit just on the side of it and mods, and it's kind of got slits for windows, so it looks like it's ready for battle. It looks more fierce than it is in real life, I think, to be honest. That's kind of the vibe it gives off.
Amazing.
But it's beat up to shit.
Yeah. Anything else?
Oh,
any other bits?
I forgot the most important thing, to be fair. It's got a big fucking ramrod on the front. So,
nice.
Like how an old steam train has the big triangle, but what you'll notice, it kind of looks like a scoop, like a snowplow scoop. A bit
nice.
Robot Wars style, and it has some surprises which I won't reveal.
Nice. Anything else, or are you calling it that?
I want the rest to be a surprise.
Cool. Awesome. It's brown, it's rusted. You can see that some patches of the rust are darker than others. It has sections that look like they've almost got like neon lighting on the outside. They look like if you pressed a button in the inside, they might extend outwards and give you guys a little bit of extra room when you're kind of parked up, you know, that kind of vibe. Cool. You guys have unloaded, and we'll talk about what you're doing with all the gear in a second. But can Dave and Tom, can you guys please, one of you describe what the main living area of the vehicle looks like? And can the other one please describe what the sleeping area of the vehicle looks like? Dave, you go first with either living or sleeping, and Tom, you'll take the other.
I'll go with the sleeping arrangements of old Bessie for now, and it is, considering its size, it doesn't have that much room. So we are talking about 4 bunks. Jesse, of course, has taken one of the top bunks. It's very much filled out with. So on the side of his bunk, he's actually got it so that he can put his epic rifle on the side, and it's got other little weapons, but little daggers and other things that you can always you can always pick up. He's picking them up over time. Each one is styled by each of the persons, but yeah, it is very much like a steel wardrobe-esque thing that's then just got fabric bunks in.
Amazing.
Keeps them going. Will be usable in transport, so it has got that little bit of a give, but very much if you think about almost submarine bunks, it's kind of like that.
Yeah. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. And actually, what happens is the side of the vehicle, when you press a button, it extends outwards, and these like cloth bunks fold out. And in the foot section where it connects to the wall, you have these little compartments where you can store stuff, and you're able to lay your rifle off to your side, and you've got, down there you've got a couple of different knives, probably a bottle of whiskey, I imagine, Jesse, that kind of vibe. I imagine everyone's bunk may be decorated with various different things, and we'll maybe circle back to some of that a little bit later. Tom, can you please describe what the main kind of living area is? Also, this is how you guys would access the like cargo, the cargo scrambler, and the flipping battering ram. This is where all the main systems, as well as also whether you guys have any furniture or anything else would exist.
Yeah. So that on that main console that has some of the different dials and everything and monitors to gauge inside and outside what is around the environment. There's also some gaming consoles there, so some old school retro gaming consoles with some controllers. You look around from the monitors backwards, and next to the kind of the old beaten up gaming chairs that do recline and have a little bit of a headrest on them and stuff, are bean bags all around. There are beads that are hung down in different parts of the interior as well. There's a disco ball, kind of a small disco ball kind of in the middle that kind of just sways as the vehicles. Yeah. There are also, there's a hookah pipe that looks like it's been kind of smoked recently, and it has actually 4 different tube options for them. There in the other corner, there's just a little mini gym that has like kettlebells. It has a pull-up bar and like a jumping rope and those types of things. So all of this is compacted. It's in one little space, but it seems like it's sectioned off into like a chill area, a gaming monitoring area, and then a workout area.
Awesome. Yeah, perfect. You have you see on the console there's this one button. It's more, I say button, it's a lever, and it's under a glass cabinet that says only in emergencies. You will know this because it has gone off accidentally because someone actually lent on it, which is why it now has the glass case.
Okay. You say someone. We all know who.
It says only in emergencies, and it says attention Jesse on it.
Yeah.
That means you, Jesse.
This is the magnetic body that you guys have that allows you to magnetize your vehicle's body, and the effects of that one. As well as that, in the gym section, there's a special weight that Gigabite uses. It's a kind of cybernetic looking weight. It's got various different bits there, kind of. It allows him to adjust the weight so that it actually does rep his mechanical arms, basically.
So hoping you were going to say it's a shaker weight, and he's just there doing that.
It is now a shaker weight that allows you to adjust the weight you're shaking, and that's kind of,
there is one time in Jesse's memory where he did remember that Gregor's arms did both pop off because he was using that and he didn't lock his arms on properly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It's something that you guys actually now tell him to check beforehand. He goes to pick it up, you're like, all right, arms, check your fucking... Yeah. Beautiful. And over in the gaming section, you've got an old N64 and a PlayStation 1 next to one another. There.
I thought you were going to say like the computers run with an old, a really old banged out 5090 GPU or something,
And so you've got these old consoles, these tatty ass chairs, these bean bags that have duct tape all over them. Wonderful. I love that so much. Cool. Matt, as you're the person driving old Bessie to the block, can you please describe the cockpit or, driving section of old Bessie for us?
Absolutely. So I imagine there is sort of like the main driver's seat and then a little bit of a bench seat to get at least sort of 2 more people in there. But in true Gigabite style, this is not the truck as it started out. There are consoles and additions and different pads and buttons just all over the shop, which have all now got sticky labels underneath to make it clear around what those buttons do. Not for me, but for the obvious person in the room.
He's had to drive to go get takeaway before. He's fine.
Exactly. I think next to the main sort of, we'll call it the actual steering seat, there is a proper steering wheel, gear stick, handbrake, the standard sort of mechanical car parts, but then there's also sort of like this mini heads-up display which shows, almost like a Tesla, a 360 view of the vehicle using the various cameras that are on the outside. And yeah, I imagine that's sort of the main details of it.
It's got to be much more like the radar from the original Star Wars, right? It's just very glitchy, you know. And it's
it's just got pong on it. It's just going.
It's got the fucking squares with the like
retrofitted
weird little thing. Yeah.
I do imagine with Gigabite being Gigabite, there is a retrofitted Game Boy, original Game Boy, that is now one of the controls, probably for the fucking flip thing.
If you've got the tunes on, you've got to put a Mario 64 cartridge in.
A card in, yeah, and that's what you've made those into tapes. I love
tape,
that.
Yeah.
That's sick. Do you know what? All of you can take an inspiration for your sick description. Great job. Everyone gets a point of inspiration for that. So you get a D6 to add to one of your rolls. Not damage though. Everything else. Beautiful. This vehicle is it's a part of the family. As would anyone's vehicle that had been modified this much. In that front section, the steering wheel is a yoke steering wheel, very much like a Tesla. And every now and then you do find Zane, if he's like looking over his shoulder, he's trying to pass it through his hands, and he's like, "Where's the fucking top?" Has moments like that every now and then. But you also have another one of these glass cases, and it says in case of emergency again, and that is also the flipping button that was again once activated because someone lent on it, and so that also has a glass case over it. The
surprises
retro
I didn't want to talk about, you've just told everyone, Bodhi, so you know.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. And you can see the actual retrofitted stuff that you're talking about that has this kind of classic 8-bit game style, like a screen on it, is what you guys use for when you're in a special mode that we won't talk about because we're not doing spoilers. Awesome. So you guys find yourself within Old Bessie. Is there anything you want to do the night before you guys take off towards the block? Anything you guys want to do that evening?
I want to, when Vegas kind of had that moment with me where he sent over 50,000 credits, and I had that thing happen internally where I started feeling and hearing these sentiments of love. I didn't know what to do with it, so as soon as I was able to, I just asked to excuse myself and left our little accommodation and literally started sprinting as fast as I could for as far as I could until I threw up. And just was out there, I don't know, like half a mile away after my sprint had just destroyed my legs, and I was just kind of and not sure what to do with that emotion, because it was something that I remember, but I guess I've tried to suppress for a while, or maybe have thought was gone forever. And I just turn around and I start walking back with my hands behind my head.
As you start walking back with your hands behind your head and you're kind of looking up to the ether of space, cosmic dust ever present, as there's not much light pollution from Kensington, Trentington, and Duke at this time. And you can see the sun being blocked ever so slightly, casting the night onto you guys, almost like a solar eclipse kind of vibe. And just off of that, you can see this large round circle of the new HK Mars portal that was built after the first one was destroyed. And you can see that constant kind of yellow, ominous glow that seems to just seep from its almost translucent center to the metal framework on the outside. You walk back, and your mind drifts. And as your mind drifts, you find yourself in a small kitchen that's connected to a lounge, and you're sat at a dining table. You kind of look around yourself, and you can see cutlery and a plate in front of you that is empty. Across from you, you can see a newspaper with two hands either side of the newspaper. And then to your left, you can hear the clanging of someone scraping something from a pan. As you look to your left, you see a woman wearing a almost red and white checked dress with a little apron, white apron tied at the front. You can see her hair in that kind of 50s style with large curls that kind of wrap in various different places and fold within one another, facing away from you. As she goes, "Dinner's almost ready, my boys, my darlings." And you see her turn around, and as she does, almost like static, almost like a TV static, her face statics, and you can't make out any of her facial expressions or recognize her face. As she walks over and slides a plate in front of you, removing the one that was there, and slides one in front of the newspaper with hands, you hear from behind the newspaper "Give me a beer." As she goes, "Of course, my darlings," flinching ever so slightly as she does, and walks over to the fridge. As the of the fridge happens, you come back into reality as you find yourself walking back to Old Bessie, and you can now see that you're approaching Old Bessie.
As I'm doing that, I look at my wrist, and I look to see the total, and it's 0. And I'm trying to push buttons to get rid of this fucking 50,000. I don't want it. I don't fucking want this 50,000. Fucking goddamn Vegas. Fucking delete, motherfucker, delete! And I can't do it. And and I open the door and I walk in.
As you open the door, you hear just in your head one more time, as you kind of go into your mind and see that little flame, and you just hear, "Coming, my darlings." Cool. The rest of you are inside. Well, are the rest of you inside, or Gigabite? Are you working on the bike or anything? What are you guys all up to at this point in the evening? Does anyone want to do anything before the night ends?
I suppose I'll be, because Zane's never driven it before, and it's quite the honour that I'm going to let him drive it. After the time I let Jesse drive it, and he fucking nearly blew up a whole town. So nobody really gets to drive it usually. So I'll be showing Zane what all the buttons do.
Thank you for the raid.
Hey, roll together.
Hey, how you doing?
What all the buttons do, what all the levers do, tell him which buttons to press, which ones not to press, how to drive it, that sort of thing. And I'll be showing, I suppose, Neo around, trying to brag that this is all my cool stuff.
He is seriously impressed. The level of impressed he is beyond that. Though, and what you're kind of realizing, Gigabite, as you're showing this kid around, is that not only is he picking up and like seeing the things that are around him, but he's almost learning from like every moment. You see like his mind almost adapting and shifting. Like, you know, he's like, why have you put this here? And you're like, well, it made more sense to have it closer to the power console because it takes more power than some of the other places. So getting the power there first makes the most sense if we blow a power outage and we have a generator needing to kick in. And he's like, that does make a lot of sense. He's like, and then he starts almost rolling into like, I wonder if you could even shorten it further by using a different type of cabling that you hadn't thought of. And it's just this kind of interesting moment as the kid seems to grow and evolve with every moment.
I'll be jotting down every improvement he suggests, pretending that they're not good ideas, but particularly for fucking hell. Yeah, write that down. Write that down.
Perfect. Love it. Amazing. You're showing him around. Zane, can you make me a savvy check with upper hand? So you take 4 dice, get rid of the lowest. 3 dice, get rid of the lowest, and then add your savvy to the other 2.
Oh, nice. Dual 6s. So
Beautiful.
that is 14 total.
14 total. You are, you're pretty tech savvy. I mean, you used to kind of not. Yeah, exactly. You didn't sit in a similar role as Gigabite, but you had to perform, repairs and stuff on your own ship. You can understand how it all works. And so, after explaining and then going through your standard mental process, which is, are you memorizing through like visuals? Are you saying like a mnemonic rhyme? What's Zane's way of remembering how to run this bad boy?
Zane's actually got something of an eidetic memory, a photographic memory, so he is just looking at all of these different controls, and once Gigabite's already turned around and gone through it once, he'll just sit there for a moment, repeat it all, make sure he's got it, and then alright, on to the next thing, I guess. And then I'm gonna go sit, probably just propped up against one of the wheels, while everybody does their thing. I see Isaac just fucking book it off, just okay, and then I will clean the sawn-off shotgun.
You'll see that I'm quite annoyed at the fact that you've looked at it and remembered it, and I've got some fucking makeshift manual that I've written myself on random bits of paper, like.
I'm just going to be clear that all he's done is gone, that button does that, that button does that, that button does that.
Can't really troubleshoot.
Other than that, it's the basic details. He can't fix anything, he just knows what it does. But yeah, and then he will sit and clean the sawn-off shotgun and load 2 shells.
Beautiful.
I'm used to being the clever one.
Does Zane smoke?
On occasion, yes. I will say that in this moment he will feel that little bit of stress, and he will take out a more of a he's going to be that sort of dickhead. He's going to take out like a cigarello type thing.
Nice. Love it.
What a tosser.
yeah.
And he's just going to light that up.
One of mine with like no filter on it. Like 1920s style cigarettes.
Tobacco poking out either end, like it's a bad either end.
Every time he's like there. Every time.
Every
time.
You can actually see the tobacco stains on my lips, like here and there.
So I just light up the cigarello, and I do take that first sort of draw on it, and then fuck, it's been a long time, but get it together, dickhead. And yeah, we'll then continue.
As I'll puff on mine and just blow my smoke like directly at him.
Fucking hell, Giga. Keep that shit. Jesus, where'd you buy that shit?
This is a proper cigarette.
Try one.
Is that
Fucking what am I gonna do with this?
Neo thinks you're talking to him and goes to reach for it.
Well,
he's got no lungs, it's fine.
But I was just thinking the exact same fucking thing.
He's
yeah.
literally just got filters.
He
For the record, kids, smoking is not good for you.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah. Do not smoke. Do not smoke.
100%.
Right. Don't tell the others, but this fucking nonsense cigarette's not half bad. And I'll just tandem on both of them.
Amazing. The Neo, feeling all cool, coughs a lot the first time he drags, as everyone does, and you guys kind of share in laughter as you're kind of shining this the shotgun and loading it, as you're all kind of stood outside of the vehicle now. Jesse, what you doing while all this going on?
So Jesse gets back.
To a waitress.
He's doing his paint by numbers in the corner.
Jesse gets back to his bunk and will grab his cleaning kit for his rifle, because they have used it on the previous mission. He checks that everything else is in order, and then will go back on and goes and sits on the roof of Old Bessie. And he sits there. There's a space that
spot.
he fits really well between like the air conditioning unit that's on top and everything else, and he can hide fucking well in there if he lays down. But he's sitting there for now, and he's put his cleaning kit to one side, and as he's sort of partly dismantled for cleaning his favourite rifle, he does see Isaac shoot off into the distance. And as much as he tries not to, he does care quite a lot for Isaac.
Looks at that scope.
This is for Isaac.
He does. He then lays down and looks where Isaac is going, and there's no ammo. It's only half a fucking rifle at this point, but he can still look down, and he uses it as a training session. Just to keep his wits about him and keep his skills good. Can he track Isaac on his run? And when Isaac stops running and he turns around, he's got his hands on his head. Jesse feels for him. He feels for Isaac because he knows the trouble he goes through. He tries to. He basically ignores it because he does not know how to emotionally help Isaac. So he just blocks it out. But he always cares. And he is just looking straight down this barrel with Isaac in the square of his sights. And thank fuck it's not loaded. Let's just put it that way.
I'll say this. You know, aside from all of Jesse's rough edges, because there's a lot of them. There's a lot of those rough edges. But underneath all of that, there's two things that have always been there, and Jesse doesn't quite know why. It's that caring for other people.
Yeah.
And it's that meticulousness of certain things, almost like an obsessive nature that Jesse has. And taking apart your weapon is fallen into that category of something that Jesse is very obsessed about. Often Jesse's things to the outside world seem very mundane. Could be, what chip flavor to have after dessert, because it's important for you to know exactly what crisps you're eating flavor wise. It could be other weird mundane shit, but this is your safe space. This cleaning this rifle on this roof with no one else around, under the stars of the Cosmere around you. Feel safe.
There's been some fights with people interrupting him while he's been cleaning his rifle. Not a euphemism. That's why he's actually ended up on the roof as his favourite spot now, because he doesn't get interrupted. So he's 100% that he doesn't know how to handle the fact that he cares so much about people, and actually that may be, sort of on his mind with the fact that they're transporting a kid. But he's therefore just hunkering down on, this is a mission, we've got to get sorted, I need to make sure I'm okay. So that's why he's up there. When he's also down and he sees Isaac with his hands over his head, walking back, he just whispers, I got you, buddy. No one else hears it. And he just makes sure that Isaac makes it back, and he finishes off doing a proper clean on his rifle, puts it back together, and comes down and sits with the guys.
Amazing. First of all, you can So this is how I do inspiration for all of my games, but this one is going to be a fun one. So because it's going to be so much more vital. So with your inspiration, you can now turn that into a D8 of inspiration as opposed to a D6 added onto one of your rolls. That slapped. That was freaking awesome. I love it, love it, love it, love it. You guys joined that evening. And I assume you have some like tin food that you guys all heat up on like a pretty shittily made fucking like dumpster fire outside of old Bessie that you guys probably pull
No,
together.
fuck that. We've got credits now. I'm going to Vinny's Bang Bang Bar and I'm buying us a decent meal.
Amazing.
And some
Okay,
hookers.
awesome.
And some chips.
Oh,
Okay, maybe not.
No.
oh,
Remember my
Okay.
chips? Bacon flavoured. Chips!
chips, bacon flavor.
All
Amazing.
right,
Okay.
Chips.
You engage with Vinny at the bar. Vinny is a strange gentleman. He's definitely like Italian descent. You can kind of tell his hair's slicked back. He always has a matchstick in his mouth, which has always kind of put you, a little bit off edge, made your spine tingle, especially considering he's around so much spirit liquid, because they can't really grow fruit and stuff out here, so they're more kind of growing root vegetables and then converting it down into like vodkas and things like that. And so, yeah, it concerns you. He wears like these kind of overalls, kind of vibe, and he's a pretty chill guy. You have a cordial interaction with him. What kind of food, what kind of meal would you guys be looking to kind of get? I can throw some stuff that would be common, or if you want to come up with something, Matt, you can tell me.
If he's Italian and it's like an Italian deli, I'm hoping for a charcuterie board, to be honest, meats and cheeses.
I was
Yeah.
hoping for a deep pan pizza because I was thinking New York Italian, like fucking proper
Oh, okay.
pie.
All of the above.
Yeah.
All of the
Yeah.
above?
Yeah.
We've
Awesome.
got credits now. Fucking
Amazing.
making it right.
Our
And a
fridge
bottle of
doesn't
vodka.
right, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah, our fridge is only
Making it-
this big. It can fit like 2 Red Bulls and a sausage in it, so be careful.
Amazing. So you spend about another 2,000 or so credits on all of the food for the evening, which is pretty standard. It's pretty standard. And it's a lot of food. You got a full charcuterie board with jamon serrano, jamon york. You got fucking some chorizo in there, some salamis. You also then got various selection of cheeses. You got Gouda, cheddar. All nice kind of splaying out. You also get a full deep dish pizza, along with what was the final request that someone had?
Bacon fries.
Bacon
Yeah.
fries, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Some bacon fries, amazing. And do you grab any drinks for everyone?
Yeah, so I said I'll grab one of the bottles of vodka.
Perfect, awesome. And you grab the bottles of vodka. You
I
just
grab,
about managed to carry all of that by yourself.
I also asked Vinny if we can we have some linen napkins and silverware with the promise that we'll return them.
He looks at you oddly and he's like, "Oh, shit, man. Go for it." And points you to a like pretty empty cutlery rack with some like crudely made paper napkins, basically that are next to it.
I grab everything that I can so that each of us has a set of silverware and napkins. And as I'm waiting for everyone, I'm folding these napkins in a triangle so that there's a triangle that I can put in front of everyone when we get back to Old Bessie.
Hell yeah, awesome. You guys make it back
We
to
didn't
Old
check
Bessie.
whether Neo actually eats proper food or whether he just... I don't know, do you eat sustenance, boy?
Boy.
He looks up at you and goes, I mean,
Teal'c.
Yes.
I don't, but I would love to, man.
Yeah, all right, mate. Just get him some what's-its or something then.
Comes
What's a
back with
what's
the
it?
bacon fries.
It's a
Pizza
little orange
and-
corn snack. It's lovely, and then you get to lick all the dust off your fingers when you're finished. Oh, Cheetos for our overseas cousins.
Or cheese puffs, generally.
Sounds
derogatory.
sounds delightful. I've never tried anything that left any sort of residue on my fingers that I was meant to then proceed to lick. That sounds like quite a food
assuming you've
experience.
got a tongue.
Oh my god, we're right at the smell my finger moment.
I'm just worried about leaving a residue on a boy on the internet. That's what I'm
Oh,
worried
come on!
Golly.
Cool, there we go.
Golly.
Straight over. Wonderful, well done.
That's
It was a
not
fun
magic
ride,
cancelled.
gentlemen. It was a fun ride. Freeze up my June and July, so that's wonderful. I love it. I'll see you guys at Christmas.
That's one we will not
Wow.
be clipping. I'll tell you that now.
Amazing. You guys have a lovely meal back at the campsite provided to you by Vegas, who now is 51,000 credits down compared to the rest of you.
Well, 52.
When he gets back, I press
yes,
the
52,
button.
my apologies.
I say to Neo, press that button. He presses it, and then like really shit foldy chairs come out, like a little shit dining area. You know, like school table
Yeah.
chairs where you got the school chair
Yeah,
with
yeah.
the desk on it. Those
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of fold out, but there's only 4. So Vega has to sit in the driver's seat and eat it by himself anyway.
Thanks for that, Giga. I'll go. Yeah, fuck you.
Sorry, I didn't.
I'll take my
I
pizza
didn't
with
bank
me.
on having so many people in the van.
You sit with the door open as all of you kind of sit with your backs
Sit
to
on
old
the edge.
Bessie, looking out at the evening kind of views around you. You know, for all that happens in the outlaw world of Mars Cinco, for all the chaos and hardships and shit you guys deal with on a regular basis, moments like this aren't half bad, where you get to look out, see the cosmic dust, see the planets, the stars, moons drifting, various ships you can see blasting into zero space as they engage their zero drives, almost like small shooting stars. Here one moment, gone another. And it's a peaceful evening before the chaos of the next day. You guys all hunker down for the evening. Go on.
I'll say I do pour sort of the vodka around into whatever rudimentary glasses. I imagine it's like my glass cupboard, which is just, there's no matching glasses. They're all just fucking disparate and nicked from different bars and places, but pour vodka into each of them, even pour a little one in for Neo, and just, you go steady with it. And then lean out of the cockpit and just sort of, well, gents, here's to prosperous future, I guess. Let's not fuck it up.
I got your back, Zane.
Most inspiring speech I've ever had.
Sorry, did you want more? Well, fuck it, let's go to it, team.
Too much.
5 out of 10.
Amazing. You guys.
I'm a work in progress.
You guys have a little cheers and then bed down for the night. What time are you guys aiming to wake up? I assume our alarm set, or are you guys like? What's the plan for the morning? I guess is
Like,
you guys bed
when
down
you
for
talk
the
to
evening?
Siri or Google or Alexa, I'll just go, "Hey Neo, set alarm for 6 a.m."
The kid walks
Watches
over
eyes
to the
just
alarm clock that you showed him earlier, and is like, I guess, and starts like setting the alarm clock that you showed him earlier to 6 a.m. and then puts it down and goes, well, good night, I guess, and like looks at you and is like,
Neo,
is
you
this
don't
part of
have
that
to do
training?
everything he tells you to.
Oh, he told me that he was going to train me in the way of being a fixer, so I'm trying to do everything he says.
I've got myself an apprentice.
He told me that
As this is
apprentices
going-
get paid really well and that he's going to give me 1 credit every 2 weeks and that's a really fair wage for young apprentices.
Yep.
Fuck, it's more than I got
More
paid
than
your
labor
age, so
standards,
yeah,
yes.
go for it.
Yeah.
It's more than I ever got, Neo, as well. While this is going on, while we're getting ready to bed down, I pull out my sort of like my man kit, my leather bag, and I'm taking off my clothes and all the way down to some really tight like briefs, and you can see that I'm tan everywhere, and it doesn't look like I have tan lines. And I start moisturizing my entire body, my legs, my arms, putting moisturizer on my face, and I'm looking at myself
Leo,
in the mirror.
You just look out the window for a second.
You guys have witnessed this routine,
I know where
probably.
it's going. The pants are coming off soon.
Yeah, sure, yeah. It's a standard beauty care routine that Isaac has to ensure that his face is always ready for camera, always ready for performance.
He is the only man in the stratosphere that doesn't have wrinkly balls. He moisturises them that much; they're smooth, like 2 billion balls.
Amazing. Yeah, you prepare yourself you wash down after your messy day of killing and other illegal activities that you're planning and helping an old man and all that kind of stuff. And cool. As the evening kind of comes to a close, the whir of some of the electronics of Old Bessie kind of hum, and it's a hum that you all have come to appreciate over the time that you've been staying in the vehicle. And you all drift off. You can all put your hearts back up to full if you had lost any hearts.
Nice.
And also, Danny, you can roll for your sanity for me as well, as I will bridge
3.
into the next day. 3. Awesome. What's your sanity score at the moment?
0.
0. Cool. So you're kind of neutral. You're kind of neutral at the moment. You're feeling a little bit chaotic, but not massively chaotic. Cool. You go up
we
to
keep our
a
blues,
1.
don't we?
Yes, you keep your blues. You go up
Yeah.
to a 1, Danny, on your sanity score.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Awesome.
Getting better.
Cool.
Be a good time to be a bit more considering what we're about to do.
So, you guys wake up the next day with the light shining through the windscreen of Old Bessie and the alarm clock that you all know with that classic
Fucking hell, Giga, shut that shit off.
I'll just take my arm off and throw it at the alarm clock.
Yeah, you throw it and it hits it dead on. The alarm clock breaks into 2 pieces. As you guys know, the battery falls out of it. It falls onto the ground. And Neo kind of chuckles and is like, so is today the day?
Today, you
Hell
know,
yeah.
Mum.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Do you guys think I need to like do anything to see? Like, should I have nicer clothes than this? I feel a little bit underdressed now that and he looks down at his raggedy clothes that he's wearing, similar to all of your raggedy clothes.
I mean,
give
you're
him
going to
one
be
of
in a
those
box for
there.
most of the
Well,
day, so I don't think you're all right.
I'll give him one. I've got a couple of like military gilets with the arms cut off. I'll give him my spare one. So then he's sort of dressed like me.
Amazing. He's like, oh, it's got so many pockets. That's dope. Awesome.
I think
As Giga gives that to him, I'm just finishing up with my aftershave, and I walk up to him and I just say, "Put your wrist out," and I just pour some aftershave on it, and I say, "Go like this," and now put it all over your face. You're gonna smell nice.
He puts the aftershave all over his face. He's like, it tingles a little bit on my It smells good though. Isaac, as you now stand looking at Neo, you start to realize that you think the boy has grown overnight. If albeit an inch or so, he's gotten taller.
I'm not sure about it. I notice it, and as I'm kind of showing him how to put it around his face, I can see that he's got a little bit more of a jawline than I remember yesterday, because I'm very, very particular about jawlines. And I can see, and I can say, I think you got some good bone structure, kid. With those accents, I think you can go a long way.
See him kind of nod and be like, yeah, we got it. Okay, I feel better now. Thanks, Isaac. And the kid's still kind of a little bit unsure of you, Isaac, because of all of your little outbursts so far. So he's kind of a little bit like just wary of you.
How obvious are Neo's like cybernetics at first glance? Is it something you have to hone in on to really see, or is it something you could kind of figure out at a passing glance?
It is so overtly obvious, from wrist to basically face. His skin is translucent, and you can see the pistons and mechanical parts of him working underneath the surface. That is covered by, his t-shirt, the gilet that Danny just gave him, some shorts that he's wearing, some cargo shorts that he's wearing, but then you can see his shins down to his ankles are also that same translucent skin, where his hands are like kind of standard skin color, as is his face. His head is bald, and you can see the back of his head, the top back of his head here looks like a fishbowl with kind of like an undulating sac that looks like it's filled with electrostatic kind of a nebula almost in there, then with a big circular vent gap at the back that kind of passes through the entire lower half of his head with neon lights on it. So I'd say pretty overt.
Okay. Vegas is going to take off his scarf and just
go for it.
Wrap that around your neck and the back of your head and just try and get you past him for as much as a normal boy as possible. Sorry, Isaac,
wraps it.
You look like you're about to do something there.
No. I'll tell you what, Neo. You and me, let's start doing a little workout in the evenings if we get past this, and we'll get you all. We'll get you some muscle structure as well, on top of how you're developing your face. We get you all we get you some foundation, some base, some strength. And as I'm saying that, I'm thinking, I want to see how strong this kid is.
Amazing. Love that.
Jesse, once the alarm went off, got out of bed and went over to that little exercise area, starts just doing pull-ups during this whole conversation, and then we'll just drop. And he's basically wearing his cargo pants, no top, no nothing, just drops and just goes, I thought we were putting the boy in a box.
This is the box. You're all in the box. Wait, are we putting him in an actual box?
Yeah, but
am I going in a box?
We've moved past that.
What if they want to have a look? Like, you got the scanner?
Well, you're all gonna have to fucking hide, because this document does not say anything about people in the back of the truck.
I have my mustache.
Yeah, you do have your mustache, Jesse, but...
He points as the camera whips over to a little mannequin head that has a fake mustache on it that's over by Jesse's bunk.
I think what we can do, if we all hide in the bunks, if he ever wants to look in, we'll press the buttons and the bunks fold in, and they'll fold in with us in them.
I was going to ask
Like a
that.
Fifth Element moment where you then release it and you just go,
Let's multipass. Check in.
Amazing.
Jesse gets in the fridge.
what a film.
So,
Yeah, we'll do that.
cool guys. You all kind of wake up. If anyone has any morning routines, we can go through those as well. But yeah, kind of. I guess what's the plan? Are you setting out? Where are we going from here?
I presume that at some point we will need to load. Do we need to load the boxes, as in go back, or did we bring stuff in the truck?
You brought stuff in the truck.
I'd assume we'd brought it in the truck and already done that the night
Oh,
before.
okay. Well, I was going to
so
say
it's pretty
we
much
need
ready to go.
Yeah.
While we're travelling, me and Neo are going to do the work on the android and the bike, ready for that plan.
Perfect.
So I'll position myself in the cockpit and then look back. We all ready, fellas?
As Vega
you need a minute?
is looking back, I'm doing like perfect form pull-ups, up to the top and releasing down, and I just keep doing them. I'm pistoning them, 16, 17, 18,
Fucking
19.
You seen the deltoids in that boy? Jesus Christ! How often does he do that?
Every day, every morning.
Damn, Isaac. I'm not one for compliments most of the time, but holy shit, it shows.
Invest in your body, Vegas. Invest in your body, and I'll never let you down.
I can attest
Incredible.
to that as I show off my pistons.
Yeah.
Yours
Actual
sounds more like a
pistons.
financial investment as opposed to a physical investment, Giga.
Mine was actually a necessity because I had no arms. So,
That's
it was
what I mean. It's kind of a financial investment. You had to pay. Let's.
I did pay for
We'll
them.
gloss
I got
over
them.
it.
I got them through other means. I didn't necessarily pay.
Say no more. Say no more. We all ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Isaac, are you going to be topless for this whole fucking journey? Or are you going to put a shirt on?
I'm just thinking about whether I should go with white linen, or if I should go with kind of like a nice collar, buttoned up to the top. Just give me a second. You start
Go for the
rolling.
silk, Isaac.
Isaac, I
Special
always
day.
loved what you used to
Special
say to
shirt,
me
yeah.
is wear a red shirt that they don't know that you bleed.
Yeah, it could be red shirt day to day. That's a good shout, Jesse. And I reach for
Zane looks
an
down at his brown
impeccably-
leather trousers.
If you don't know.
an impeccably ironed red shirt that looks like it's come straight off of the rack, and I start putting that on and just buttoning it up and admiring it in the mirror as it fits pretty perfectly, like it's been tailored.
It's from a brand that Isaac often touts about. It's a brand from the old world, pre Zero Drive and HK portals. He believes it's called Gooch because the eye came off of his t-shirt, and everywhere he goes, he looks for more Gooch merchandise, but he never finds it. He's found a lot of Gucci stuff, but that's not what he's looking for, obviously.
That's fucking the fake shit. That's the fake shit.
Exactly.
That shirt is ass. Just general ass.
By ass,
Right.
what do you mean by that?
As in,
Vegas?
it's
This
showing
is-
off your perfectly shaped ass, Isaac. I'm making. Don't worry about it. And Vegas
start-
at
I
that
start
point will
flexing.
start the engine.
I start flexing my my butt cheeks, and I turn around with a really, really fucking weird clown laugh, and just say, "I know I've been working on it. I've been working on it. I've been working on it."
You hear a small
And that's
clapping
enough to wake
behind you,
me up
say,
for the rest of the fucking day.
I'd just like to remind everybody we have a minor on board, so if we could keep the sexual content to a minimum, that'd be great.
Alright, I'm going to
Giggle
start the
looks up.
ignition, and I imagine
Giggle looks up
it being
from the
old
bike.
Bessie, it coughs and splutters and coughs and
Yeah.
splutters, fails, and I look back at Giga.
Thump.
Look, someone with an eidetic memory, you forgot to do the elbow shove and the kick before you press the button.
Fucking hell. Alright.
There we go.
Well, no shit. It worked.
So, guys, this is the first time we are properly gonna be using a vehicle in Orbital
Nice.
Blues. So, what I'm gonna say is, if you do have the Orbital Blues PDF open in front of you, check out. There's from pages 84 through to about 95 are pages where there's information about what you can do and how to work a vehicle. But I will tell you little bits as we go, and we'll kind of work it out as we go. So don't feel stressed that you don't need to learn it all in the moment. So, Matt, we're going to start with your first vehicle check. Can you please roll me a mobility check? So you're doing standard 2d6 and adding old Bessie's mobility to that number.
Our Bessie's mobility is 0, mate, by the way.
Yep, I was just looking at that. That is a grand total of 5.
Okay, so in this moment, you have an option, which I'd be happy to say that one fails dramatically. As you try and start turning it, the yoke slips between your hands, and you're like, it's just not kind of working the way you want. Your option here is you can do something called take the wheel, which allows any pilot who is flying a ship to spend a heart to use their own savvy stat in place of a mobility stat. If you would like to re-roll it with your own savvy and spend a heart, or we can just stick with your current mobility for the beginning of this journey.
I will spend that heart.
Beautiful. Roll me a savvy check.
And I will have my savvy stat. 8.
Beautiful. With an 8, you manage to understand a little bit more how the power steering works, and it makes a little bit more sense to you. And you manage to pull off from Kensington, Trentington, and Duke. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. There's something called the Pass, which is a main kind of highway that connects through the southern checkpoint, basically, and leads to Cinco City. Are you taking that kind of main road, or are you coming in like off-road first and like doing anything outside of going just via the main road route?
So I imagine we'll probably off-road it as far as we can, but then maybe like a mile or two out, rejoin that road, and then make it seem like we've sort of come along the main path.
Perfect. That's awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is this. Starting off, Danny, can you please make me some savvy, grit, or cybernetics checks for you and Neo basically working on the bike and the droid. So let's start with the bike. And can you please make me one of those checks with upper hand as Neo is helping you?
Nice one. I'll say savvy because it's I'm an engineer by trade, so I don't think it's no cybernetic enhancements. Get rid of the lowest one, and I got bang on an 8. Oh no, I got a 10 with my savvy score.
Awesome, beautiful. Can you please describe what modifications are you making to the bike? As you know, you've seen various other hover bikes similar to this one, and you've been around Void-Corp ones when you were working as an engineer. But this one you can already see has had some things disabled. You know, the Void-Corp tracking system has been disabled already. There's some other little bits and bobs that have been already adjusted. But what are you doing to it?
I'm essentially making it so the throttle can remain open once you've pressed the throttle or pulled it back or pressed it, whatever it is. You don't need to keep on it. Once you've pressed it, it's on forever, so then you can just fully accelerate as it goes. I'm also going to be modifying the steering, so then I suppose limiting the steering so it will go in the straight line that we point it to, and I suppose helping it balance without somebody balancing it themselves. And then for the droid, which will probably be a separate check, what I want to achieve is tweak the programming so she essentially will come on, press the button and do nothing else but hold it steady rather than try and fucking make a pancake or whatever she'll try and do when I make her.
Okay. Awesome, hell yeah. Cool, yeah, we're gonna go for another check as well. You can go, again, one of the 3, Savvy, Grit, or Cybernetics, whatever you'd like to, and you can do it upper hand again, because Neo's helping you.
That's weird, I rolled the exact same 3 numbers again.
Amazing.
Somebody who's better at maths can work out the odds of that happening, so it's another 10.
Another 10, beautiful. Yeah, you
Chat,
managed
I'm assuming
to...
there's somebody that's good at maths.
Yeah, so someone tell us the statistical chance. You managed to get her working again. You relift that eye that was dangling that we mentioned in the last episode. You managed to relift that and kind of put it back into place. You kind of get into her software by connecting her to like the main computer that you guys have in Old Bessie that runs the systems for Old Bessie themselves. And you begin kind of just like working on all of that. And you can see that every now and then Neo is like spotting out like mistakes in your code and like helping you correct parts of the code that you're typing to change her programming. You can see that Neo's use of a like wrench and a screwdriver and things like that and different tools is far beyond that of any child who is first learning how to do this. It's almost like, you know, he's connected to some sort of database that he's gathering information from, but he's also learning from the environment around him very, very quickly. Amazing. Yeah, you managed to program her, get her all set up, and yeah, she will essentially, you like make it so her arms lock in place on the steering, on like the bike kind of handle steering of the hover bike, and you program it so that when you press a button in the Old Bessie, that she will then basically flip on the gas and just go, and just go. Cool. You can you make me I'll just ask you. Let's not make it a check. Let's go. How if at all affected is Gigabite by knowing that you are going to be sacrificing not only a machine, but also something that could be turned into parts, something that could be even programmed to help you guys clean up maybe around Old Bessie or things like that. How do you feel about just generally cybernetics being used in this manner, I think would maybe be my question for Gigabite.
Yeah, I have more affinity towards more human-like droids, so more advanced droids that we have around, so you know, like service droids, and guard droids and stuff like that actually are more human and more autonomous. I would know that this is literally a glorified remote control waitress who literally does 2 things. She'll take your order, pour a coffee, flip a pancake. There's no sophistication to it, so I suppose I don't have that sort of affinity towards it in a way. And I suppose I'm more now drawn to Neo and his technological advancement and how I can learn from him. So I suppose I'm not really overly bothered, to be fair.
Okay, can you make me a savvy check? 1 second, please. Thank you.
11.
Beautiful. With an 11, you reckon that if there was a way for you to connect to whatever was the like cerebral part of Neo, you reckon you could probably access a proportion of whether it be power, intelligence, data, whether it could be, you know, skill evolution or whatever. You feel like there's a possibility that if you did connect to whatever is in Neo's mind, that it might enhance your cybernetics. But you also know, you're also not entirely sure how one would connect to his mind based on you don't see a standard like porting or anything like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Is anyone else doing anything on the journey? Let's go with that.
Yeah, sorry, just one last. Considering he's corrected my code a few times, because I hacked into the Medibot to make it not alert Void-Corp every time it saves us, and to give us all the healing we need for free, can I get Neo to check my coding to make sure it's correct for that?
100%, yeah, 100%. Let me roll for you on that. Yeah, he corrects one or two pieces, but he says most of it looks pretty damn good. He says it's a lot better than your coding when you're speeding, when you're like trying to speed do it, basically.
As that's going on, I go up to Jesse, and I hadn't thought even a second after I slapped him in the moment yesterday, but I just kind of remember, almost like you remember going to a store and buying a bag of chips, and I just go up to Jesse and I say, I slapped you yesterday, buddy.
Jesse's just pulling all of the bits off his like side of the bunk, so like a little pistol, his rifle, all these things, knife, just trying to get himself ready. He just turns over and is like, "Yeah, what about it?"
Nothing really.
Good talk.
No, but yeah. All right, Jesse. I just want you to know that.
Hey. I know. I get it. I know you're. You got this.
Yeah.
You brought this
You
little
do
shit
too,
up,
man.
so we got this.
Yeah, and I see Jesse every now and again. Jesse plays the fool most of the time, but in quiet moments, in one-to-one moments outside of the crowd, he cuts through it all and says words that are much wiser than his external appearance would convey. And this is one of those. And I turn to him and I say, "Yeah, we got this, man." And I just give him a bump and I say, "You and me, Jesse. You and me."
It's going to be boring as shit, and that's what we want, right?
Absolutely gonna fall asleep during the whole thing, buddy.
And if not,
Jesse.
he pats his thigh and he's like, "Well, we're going to have some fun."
And fuck's sake. And Isaac pulls out his switchblade and tries to flip it, but turns it on and tries to flip it and catch it.
Jesse
There we
takes
go.
a step back. Absolutely takes a step back.
Let's go. Let's go.
Please make me a grit or make me a grit check. Let's go for it.
Let's do this. Let's do this. This is going to be an ongoing thing. Okay.
Jesse,
Okay.
as Isaac fist bumps you, Isaac at one point was your superior officer in the Scars.
Yeah.
He was once someone who you both looked up to and kind of like respected. Now that you've seen kind of behind the curtain and things are your power dynamics are very different. You're much more peers than you were ever before. It's still a little bit strange to fist bump a commanding officer in such a way, but it's definitely becoming a lot more. It's definitely becoming a lot more regular and chill for you to experience.
I would say that for anyone more well-rounded, they would see the issues that Isaac goes through and be like, well, probably I am not better, but that I am more connected, more put together. For Jesse, it's more of just that bro moment that he's like, yeah, I got you. So that's why he's actually happier with the fist bump and does feel by no means above Isaac, still does see him as his leader. So, but as you say, much more on a level. And they're friends.
Yes, exactly, dead on. Tom, what was your grit check?
It was a 9. It was a 9. I'm not sure what past is.
You flip it and catch it in your hand as it.
And I look at it, and I go to a finger, and I look at Jesse, and I say, "Not right now, buddy." And I hit click, and the lightsaber goes down, and I say, maybe later. And I put it back in my pocket.
Jesse is so confused as to whether does Isaac think it's a celebration to cut his finger off. It's just like.
So it's an accurate response. Amazing. What tunes are you listening to up front, Zane?
You have literally preempted this, because I sort of flick through a few things and I'm sort of like looking. Yeah, fuck it, that'll do. Put it in. And the next minute, out of bloody Giga's repertoire, it's just old school jazz.
Nice.
And I look at it a minute and I'm just sat there, fuck's sake. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere.
Nice.
Who the fuck stuck that into my collection? What the fuck is going on?
Don't give me that shit, Giga. Pull that straight out, and then I'll put another one in, and the next minute, just some death metal comes out, and it's really loud to the point where it deafens me, and we swerve for a minute, and I'm like, oh shit, no, too loud, too fucking loud. God damn it, Giga, can you just focus on one fucking bit of music or some shit? What's the... That'll do. And the next minute, 80s hair metal. Like, we're talking Journey, we're talking... everybody at this point, I imagine. Yeah, absolutely. So, Boston, Journey, all of that. A little bit of Kiss comes on at some point, and we're talking old school. Toto. Bit of Toto Africa comes on.
Starts with that. Starts with almost those synthy tom drums, like you know, kind of fucking like synthy, like 80 rock kind of vibes.
Yeah.
I love it. Beautiful. I love that so much. Cool. You guys tear across the layered rock of Mars Cinco. This almost marbled effect of rock beneath your tires as dust is kicked up behind you guys. The music resonates throughout the whole vehicle as you all kind of... There's a little bit of quiet in the air as you're not apprehension, but everyone is kind of just like sat like almost excited for something. You know, that feeling when you're about to go on holiday and you're like never quite able to like relax, that kind of vibe. Amazing. At first you see it a long way away, Zane. This kind of white band that appears on the horizon. You can see above it kind of like the glowing haze of red laser wire. And as you slowly begin kind of cresting over this hill that you've been driving over, you can see the block's wall rising and coming towards you, ominous and bearing down in the bright sunshine, reflecting the light with that white paint kind of everywhere, making it look all that much brighter and stand out. You really can't miss this fucking wall. And you can see ahead of you this kind of gap in the wall that allows two vehicles to go through at any one time. You can see that there's a barrier and two guards kind of stood at the barrier on either side, but one set are closer towards you guys on this side of the wall and the other set on the other side. And the vehicles are kind of going in opposite directions through the checkpoint.
This President Crump sure weren't fucking fooling about with this wall, was he?
Dude, President Crump, that's canon now. Yep, right, got that in the notes.
And I imagine
Awesome.
Vega will start to pull over into the main highway at this point.
Yeah.
Pucker
Get
up,
smoother,
fellas. We're
boy.
almost there.
We get in the bunks, Giga, or we stay and just see how this plays out?
Yeah, I think let's get in the bunks ready just in case it all goes south pretty quick.
All right.
I'll be leaning on the bunk, ready to press the. I'll remember the scrambler button, and I'll because it'll be in the cockpit, won't it?
Amazing. Neo's like, where
That
should
was the
I
blue
go?
one, right? No, the pink. Shit, no. Blue or pink?
It's the green button. My Dennis memory, my ass.
You're not wrong. It's definitely the green. That's there. Yeah. Okay. I got it. Don't worry.
I turn to Jesse and I say, is he colorblind? Do we got a problem?
No, honestly, I think he's just listening to the music too loud.
Yeah, alright. Let's hope so.
Amazing. Neo looks at you guys. It's like, where should I go? You guys are going in the bunks. Where should I hide?
There's 4 bunks and there's 4 of us. I thought you was a smart robot.
I didn't want to climb into Zane's bunk without his permission. Zane, can I go in your bunk?
Just fucking get in there and don't dick around, kid.
Okay, I won't touch anything. I won't. And he climbs into the bunk below you guys.
Jesse,
cool.
You've been sticking your socks in my bunk again.
No. There's 2 stood upright tube socks like that.
Yeah. Just crispy, leant against the wall.
We all
amazing.
know on the roof.
Exactly. Polish his weapon. So, Zane, as you're pulling up, your heart begins to beat just that little bit faster. You begin to feel a small bead of sweat kind of trickle down your forehead. And your part cybernetic eye that you have kind of begins kind of zooming in ever so slightly, and you can see that there's 2 guards. You can see that they're holding rifles, and you kind of look to the cab near it, and you can see that there's another 3 dudes in the checkpoint cab to the right of where you guys will be entering. And as you hit the traffic where everything kind of slows down and the lineup happens, you can see they're kind of talking to each vehicle as it passes by. Some people are handing paper out the door. Other people are handing, digital things, like whether it's a screen of some sorts and things like that. And the guards are pretty much talking to every vehicle that comes through. So, you guys pull up next in line as the vehicle before you is ushered through. You can see the 2 large walls of the scanner that then connect to the roofing section of the scanner above you. You can see the weighted plate in front of you, Zane, and the 2 guards dressed in their SCARS white, staring back at you expectingly.
Okay, I ease it into first and just pull forward slowly and then stop atop of the weight plate, stick it in neutral, handbrake on, leave the engine running, and then just sort
Music's
of...
still going?
Music's definitely still going, but wind
Funky
the
Town
window
is now
down
playing.
and just sort of bop into it.
It is definitely it's definitely a wind window. For all the technology in here, Giga has kept the crank windows.
Sorry about that, gents. That took a little bit of time. Let me turn this down for you. And just sort of turns the music down a little bit.
You see the one guard kind of looks in and goes, "G'day to you. What you hauling?" It's a big vehicle. I haven't seen one like this for a while.
Oh yeah, she's a classic, as you can see. Needs a little bit of work, but yeah, I just got some. It's kind of junk, to be honest, but just some standard components that I'm returning for one of my close compatriots. He's got paperwork. Let me just get that for you, and hands over the paperwork from Laz.
Amazing. Cool. Can you make me a grit check, please, Matt? Then, Matt, you can also hear... Just the roll of the
fucking game.
You can also... Matt, you can hear the... As you can see, a laser begin coming towards the front of the vehicle. As you can see, the scanning lasers basically coming over your vehicle.
I imagine as I've grabbed the paperwork, I've then just flicked the switch for the whatever it was, the little...
The cargo
gizmo.
scrambler?
That's the cargo scrambler. Fucking brain just went...
Amazing. Okay.
Very
So,
rarely
flick that switch.
has Jesse ever gone through one of these checks. He doesn't quite know what the check scanner does. So he just puts his hand over his crotch. Just to
Nice. Nice.
I've got inspiration. If there was ever a moment I was going to fucking use it, it's now.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
Grit check, you say? 8.
8. Is that with inspiration?
That was with inspiration. My grit is +1. I rolled a 4 and a 3 on the dice.
Wonderful. That's what we like to fucking hear. Awesome. Okay. He takes the paper from you and unfolds it, looking at it, and you can see he holds it up in front of his face. You can see him. Return. He folds it back up and hands it to you, and he goes, we'll just wait for the scan to finish, but everything seems good to go. Oh, wait a second.
No worries.
Is it just you in the back?
What do you mean? Is it just me in the back? I'm sat in the front.
I mean, is it just you, like, in the vehicle, sir? There's no need for your back chat.
Yeah, no offense, mate. You said, is it just me in the back? And I'm pretty literal with things, but I'm sat in the front. Yeah, there's just a bunch of goods in the back.
Okay. As you say this, the scanner comes over the rear of the vehicle. So what's going to happen, guys, is I'm going to roll. And because you've got the cargo scanner on, the number I need to beat on my roll is a 9, as opposed to an 8.
Cool.
I am sweating.
Okay. I can disconnect him at any moment, guys. It's fine.
No.
Oh, no.
Oh,
No.
No.
Oh, fuck off.
Unbelievable. What the crap is that? No.
Fucking hell.
Oh shit! Here we go.
So,
Here we go.
This time our chips, isn't it?
as the scanner passes over the vehicle, you can see on a screen that's next to the guard, he leans over and looks, and he leans over to his compatriot next to him and kind of points, like taps him on the shoulder and points at the screen and goes, "What you make of that?" The dude looks at it and goes, says, 3 bios on board. And they both turn back to you and they go, "Sir, I'm gonna ask you one more time. Is it just you on board? And please be very careful how you answer this. If you are lying to us and we find out that you're hiding something, the punishment will be far, far worse."
Can we hear that in the back?
Yes, you can all hear that in the back.
Jesse's looking at Isaac's going, shit. And he's like getting ready to.
Thank you for the
move.
subscription or
Thank
the
you.
follow. I
Thank
could
you.
tell
Was
what
that a
it was.
sub or a follow?
That was a follow, I think.
Thank you
That was
for
a
the
follow. Thank you very much.
Appreciate
I'll
you.
look at the group and I'll be like, "Do you want me to press the magnet button?"
Wait. Let's see what Vegas says. See if he can get us out of this.
Vega, at this point, Danny, I'm gonna get you a tray for your shit under the desk, honestly.
I fidget with them and then I fucking drop them, don't I?
Or Orc Skull.
Thank you, Orc Skull. Thank you very much.
Good to have you
Vega
here.
at this point is just gonna look and sees them twitching a bit and goes,
Wait, I think I handed you only half the documentation there. Let me just...
and he's gonna pull out his skeleton key card in the hopes that he can fucking put this into the machine and just, I don't know, hack the shit out of this, and it just presents some random information to them that gets us through. I'm trying to tweak the shit out of the rules here.
What an absolute reach. I love it. Let's go. Let's roll it. We're going to roll for it. 100% we're going to roll for it.
As he says that, as he does that, or as he's just kind of struggling, I say to Neo,
Boy, can you do anything right now? Do something with the circuitry, anything at all.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that in a second. Beautiful, Matt. Let's go with roll me 1d6. 3 and 4 and up. The skeleton key is helpful. 3 and under, and it's not.
What do we think then, team? Wrathstrike D6, the Sparkly D6, or the Beholder's Eye D6?
Wrathstrike.
Wrathstrike. Come on, campaign 2. Two.
Ah.
All right.
Now, Zane, at that moment that he holds the chip in his hand, he flips it over and looks at the back of it. Now, you've had this skeleton key for quite some time. And at that moment, you actually flash back to when you acquired the key. You find yourself at a fast food ramen joint in Nouveau York, down on Earth. A bustling metropolis, unaffected by the nukes of the past. You could see that there was a SCARS officer sat enjoying a bowl of ramen. You could see a bunch of keys hanging off of his belt loop. It was a different time. You were a different Vegas. So you nabbed them quickly and left. What you never realized, though, was that the scratch on the skeleton key was actually the initials of the guard that you took them from. And those initials were KD.
Shit.
As he looks at the skeleton key, as you come back to reality, he goes, wait a second. As you see him reaching for the pistol on his hip, and he goes, where did you get this key?
I press the magnet button.
I mean, if he's reaching for his pistol... Oh, fuck me.
You can
Zane,
see in
what
front
would
of
do?
you is a barrier that is made of metal. It comes out the ground and kind of like folds up, and you can see it's metal, and then when vehicles go through, it folds down as well, just so you know what's kind of there in front of you. Tom, can you please roll me 2d6 and add 1 to it, please, for Neo?
That's a 9.
A 9? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Neo kind of looks and goes, I don't know. What? You see him go, my dad did tell me about something. And you see him place his hands against the wall of Old Bessie. As you watch the neon lights of his vent light up as air begins pouring out of the vent. You start hearing from the front, Vega, and start seeing the screen of Old Bessie start crackling and almost glitching as it begins kind of spluttering. As suddenly then, he removes his hands and the barrier in front of you falls down as Neo cybernetically sent himself through your vehicle, through the weighing plate, up into the wiring that connects to the screen that the guards use to control the barrier, and disabled the barrier with his mind. The barrier falls, the guards look, and they pull their weapons.
I press the magnet button now.
You press the magnet button. Amazing. Awesome.
The one I press is not the attract one, but the repel one. So in theory, everything on the outside of the vehicle that's metallic, weapons, barriers, anything is just going to fuck off away
I
from
want
the
my
car.
fucking key card back.
No, it's gone.
As I understand, that also means that everything on the inside shoves to the middle. That's
Everything
metal.
is metallic, yeah,
So-
it's stuck to the walls of the build.
Well, no, I think they
So,
get shoved to the
Gigabite, clink.
They're shoved to the middle on attract mode. On repel mode, we go to the walls.
Oh, okay. So in that case, Jesse is holding onto his rifle and just gets slammed to the wall.
Amazing. So, guys, as this weapon gets pulled, as the barrier drops, it all happens in a second. Gigabite, you just make a snap decision. You lunge over, you crack open that glass case, and you slam that lever downwards. And this almost energy blast ripples outwards. Almost in slow motion, Zane, you watch as the blast hits the machinery first, bending the screen that was attached to the ground by a small metal like kind of rod, bends away towards the ground. You see the entire wall itself begin kind of flexing and bending as the metal attached to it begins kind of moving. In slow motion, the skeleton key that was yours flies out of the guard's hand over his head and off into the desert distance behind him, as he then turns to look at you, and the helmet attached to him begins to lift his head backwards as the various other bits of his Kevlar armor begin to pull him back as well, and the metal of his rifle and pistol begin to push him away, as does the other guard. Inside the vehicle, can everyone please roll me a muscle check?
Is that including me?
Yes, it is including you.
10.
I'm going to roll my inspiration.
Fucking hell, Danny.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck's sake, Danny.
It was 5. I got a 10.
What was that,
I got a 10 as well.
What was that, Dave?
Sorry, I was going to say I was going to roll with my inspiration. So that'll be it's 2d6, isn't it? But I've got the 2d.
Yeah.
I've got a d8 instead.
3d6 and remove the lowest.
So that is an 11 for.
Amazing. 2 10s and
yeah.
11.
Sorry, is inspiration
Giga?
to roll in it a d8? Is it?
I got an extra.
For Dave, he got his boosted
Right.
after his amazing
Gotcha.
scene on the roof. Danny, I'm not sure if you've made the roll. Can you do it against the odds for me? So can you roll another one and take away the highest, please, as you're pretty much all metallic, or a large proportion of you is metallic?
I rolled 3 5s.
You rolled 3 5s.
Oh.
Okay. In that case,
to
you
be
can
fair,
keep them. In
I
that
am-
case, you can keep them.
I am metallic, so I think it's only fair I get stuck to the wall.
Well, what I'll say is
Being
what I'll
me,
say is this. Currently, Gigabite is stood is climbed out of the thing to go press the button. As soon as the button gets pressed, you're getting pushed to the wall where the bunks are, and you find yourself at a 45-degree angle, resisting the magnetic pull as you are trying to just stay at it. Isaac, you grip onto something as the metal of your belt and the eyelets of your shoes and the aglets of your laces and everything that's metal on you begins kind of pulling towards the wall as you get lifted and end up looking like a flag kind of holding onto a pole as you're being drawn to the wall. Then, Jesse,
The perfect
your gun,
calisthenic flag, though.
The gun 100% just slaps against the wall for sure.
the gun slams against the wall, and but you are able to hold yourself because you find that your feet go first. So you plant your feet on the wall and almost like squatting yourself off of the wall at the moment. Zane, you rolled a 10. You managed to hold on to the steering wheel, but you can feel like your fucking cybernetic eye almost feels like it's being ripped from your face as you're being pulled towards the thing. You may only use one of your pistols, as the other one is glued to the door next to you, basically, at this moment in time. Beautiful. As this wave blasts out and everything goes shrish, and sucks to the walls, and the guards get blasted backwards. All the metal around you bends. The vehicle behind you shifts back 1.5 feet. There's an open bit of road in front of you, Zane.
Floor it.
Hit it, Vegas!
First thing I'm going to do is look at this guard and go, fuck's sake, I needed that key card. Fuck it. First gear and just try. Fucking head almost glued to the window at this point.
Yeah. Amazing.
Tries
And
to
you can
shove
feel
it into
the steering
first
wheel
gear
is
and...
amazing. The steering wheel is almost being pulled towards the door. You actually come and scrape the side of the booth where the other guards who are inside are also being pushed back from the window. as you're trying to fucking hold it in place, as you tear through the checkpoint of the block into the other side of the Mars Cinco wasteland. At that moment, we cut away to the landing dock, the destination of our party. There, a gentleman stands, arms folded, looking off into the distance, admiring the view of the desert scape ahead. Someone comes and taps him on the shoulder and says, "Magnus, everything's in place. Everything's set up for tonight." Without turning around, he looks out into the distance and goes, "Good. Remember, tell the others, we're here for the child. If we can take the woman too, there's extra bounty in it for us all. But we are not leaving without the fucking child. Am I understood?" Person behind him, "Yeah, I got it, Magnus. I'll go tell the others." You see them kind of hesitate for a moment as if they want to say something. And he raises a hand as if to say, "Leave." And they turn around and walk away. That's where we're going to end today's session, guys.
That was very bottom clenching, that was.
Don't think I've ever been so stressed in a session ever.
We didn't even address what the fucking motorbike and the android waitress did either, because they've probably squished Neo and he's dead.
That's afterwards, isn't it? Oh yeah, well, fair one. Yeah.
Because they're meant to land, mate,
That's
so
part
they
of the
would have
cargo.
stuck to the wall of the,
Yeah.
thing as well.
Would they have been
100%.
latched down? Fuck it. I don't know.
Nah, they've crushed Neo. He's dead. Game over.
You did not say that they were latched down at all. You definitely didn't say they were latched down. So we're gonna call it. We're gonna call that. And you know what? For
That's
sake of
probably
purpose of
why
Danny,
old Bessie scraped the side.
you know what, Danny? As you brought it up, you can be to blame. The bike actually rolls sideways and does crush Neo's arm, breaking one of his cybernetic arms underneath the weight of the bike as the child screams in the back. It's what we get for asking the GM. Guys, thank you for an awesome session. You guys were all freaking amazing. I am so hyped to see what happens at the fallout of this this chaos at the block, and what will go down as you guys approach the Mars Cinco City landing dock. Thank you everyone for watching. We really, really appreciate it here at Malt and Magic. You guys absolutely rock. Every person who has taken the time to come and hang out with us tonight. We super, super appreciate it. We'll be back to Matt GMing next week for the prequel episode of Campaign 2, showing the origin story of Cavan Buckland, Tom's character, which I'm super, super hyped about, and I think that's going to be freaking awesome. So if you want to get some fantasy in you after all this sci-fi that we've had this week, definitely come check that out. It'll be a great place to jump in, as the plot won't tie massively to the kind of expanding wider story that we're currently in at the moment. So it's a great place to join. But otherwise, guys, thank you so much for taking the time. We've been Malt and Magic, and I guess we'll catch you guys in the next episode.